we still believe that she can come home.
The family is offering a reward up to $1 million. CBS's Jonathan Vigliotti says of the investigation,
DNA from inside that home remains a critical piece of evidence here, though I did speak with several sources close to this investigation who described that DNA evidence as low level. It has been tested. It is still being analyzed in a lab in Florida. We're going on more than 3 weeks now, and sources telling me it may not yield a name or names.
President Trump tonight will deliver his first State of the Union address of his second term. He's expected to focus on the economy. Several Democratic lawmakers say they will not attend. And in a network-exclusive interview, Speaker Mike Johnson has told CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel,
I think it's detestable that members would boycott the speech. We've never done that. It doesn't matter if there's a Democrat president. You go and respect the office. You respect the decorum, the institution, the tradition of having had this speech made. And it's sad to me that Democrats are choosing to opt out of that.
Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren says she expects to hear Trump explain away the fact that he promised he would lower costs on day one.
We will be on day 400, and the cost of groceries is up, the cost of utilities is up, the cost to build a house is up, and the cost of health care is through the roof.
The Rotor Act, requiring aircraft locator systems that the National Transportation Safety Board recommends to prevent mid-air collisions, fails to get House approval. The head of the NTSB says the system would have prevented last year's mid-air collision near Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people. At least 2 people in Maryland have died in the storm that brought record snowfall and strong wind from Maryland to Maine. In Camden County, New Jersey, crews are working to restore power. CBS News Philadelphia reporter Ray Strickland in Stratford.
Atlantic City Electric says right now it's an all-hands-on-deck effort to restore power, with the company calling in reinforcements from as far as Kentucky and Michigan. Now, Atlantic City Electric says many people should start seeing their power restored today, but in some of the hardest hit areas, it could take days before their power is restored.
Officials condemn an incident in which they say New York police were injured when a crowd pelted them with snowballs as they walked through Washington Square Park yesterday. They were taken by ambulance to a hospital for treatment, and NYPD says it's under investigation. Stocks are up on Wall Street. The Dow has jumped 400 points. NASDAQ is up 231. This is CBS News.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
The latest on a mass casualty shooting in Pierce County straight ahead after a quick check on your KIRO Newsradio traffic, brought to you by Seattle Sports. We have a northbound backup right now at the First Avenue South Bridge due to a closure for marine traffic. In Seattle North 5, just a minor backup approaching the Ship Canal work zone, adding about 4 minutes to your northbound commute. And out in Purdy, there are backups on State Route 302, just up the hill from the Purdy Spit, the scene of our shooting, which I'll get to here in just a minute. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily.
KIRO News Radio, breaking news.
And good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A mass casualty incident in Pierce County where 5 people are dead in Purdy near Gig Harbor. Sheriff's deputies say it started just before 9 a.m. when a man showed up at a house where someone had filed a protection order against him. Investigators say he started stabbing people.
Shots fired. Some down. 3 other victims. Fire priority.
Those shots fired apparently came from a deputy who was the first to arrive on the scene. We are told the suspect is among the dead. Reporter James Lynch is on the way to the scene. We will bring you more as soon as we have it. Flights between Puerto Vallarta and SeaTac resumed today as violence in western Mexico appears to be easing. Shandy Boyle's flight doesn't leave the resort until Wednesday. She described life in lockdown at her resort to the John Curley Show.
So nobody was allowed in or out. They're putting all the employees up and feeding them as well, because they couldn't go home last night. We're nervous. I would leave today if I knew we could get out.
The violence sparked after the Mexican military killed Mexico's most powerful cartel leader known as El Mencho. Cartel loyalists set hundreds of fires to cars, trucks, and buildings. At least 80 people have been killed, including National Guard troops and suspected gang members. A bill that would allow a state commission to remove elected sheriffs continue to make its way through the legislature. On Monday, people from across the state packed a hearing room to weigh in. Supporters say the public needs a way to counter a sheriff or chief that's not following the law. But Thurston County Sheriff Derek Sanders tells KIRO 7 TV elections already do that.
Yielding the position to an unelected board of individuals that is primarily comprised of unelected people, actually, it's almost entirely comprised of unelected people, to me is undermining the democratic process.
Sheriff Sanders says he supports the other measures that create hiring standards. President Donald Trump is set to give his first State of the Union address of his second term tonight. Washington Senator Patty Murray won't be there. She plans to give her own address online to voters in Washington. Congressional Representatives Pramila Jayapal of Seattle and Emily Randall of Bremerton are planning to skip the event. The president's address is expected to go over the economy, tariffs, and foreign policy. And now your KIRO News Radio weather. Isolated showers mixed with pockets of sunshine. High reaching just the upper 40s today. We'll rinse and repeat this forecast into Friday with highs closer to 50. 45 and cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Tuesday to you. Jake Skorheim here, sitting alongside Spike O'Neill. Spike, welcome to the show.
You too, my friend.
Lots of stuff to get to today. That stabbing in Purdy is a pretty wild story. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio reporter, he's on the way. We'll probably be checking in with him throughout the day and just getting some more details on that. But it sounds like 4 people are dead, and we're still trying to find out what happened.
Details came in fast and furious, and we've got conflicting reports on numbers, but they're getting cleared up as we get more information. James will have exactly the full details as he gets on the ground in Purdy. Just,
wild story. Yeah, crazy. But it looks like a stabbing incident. And anyway, we'll give you some more details when James gets down there and lets you know what's going on. So we'll check in with him. A lot of stuff to get to today. We have an update in the Savannah Guthrie case. I think it's taken a really interesting turn on a case that you and I don't even think we covered it on the show for the last few days because it kind of feels like there's nothing new that's being released on this. And then today there's some new information that got released. I don't even know if it's new information. It's a new approach to solving this thing.
An evolution of the case? Is that
absolutely
the fairest way to frame it?
I do think it will get some results. At least it has the potential to. So we'll play you some audio in just a few minutes. There's a new video that was released by Savannah Guthrie. Obviously, her mom, Nancy Guthrie, is who has been missing now for, 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
So we'll give you an update on that in just a couple minutes here. Let's start right off, though, on this millionaire tax. Everybody is talking about this. It is like the hot topic right now that people are discussing.
As it should be, yeah.
In the Senate Ways and Means Committee today, they were introduced officially for them to, Jamie Peterson introduced his millionaire tax before the committee for them to chat about and come up with things on. A lot of people in attendance. People do care about this.
The public comments section was overflowing.
Not just the public comments, but just literally people showing up who wanted to be there and see what the discussions were going to be. So we'll have a bunch of audio and stuff on that, which we'll get to in a second. But also, I want to say I actually have come up. Let me read a little bit of this. This is from Everett. I want to get the name right. I want to butcher this name. This is from the head of the Senate Ways and Means Committee.
Last name Washington, so cities, not
Everett
a person.
Washington. Oh, is that what it is?
No,
Everett Washington?
Sorry.
No, this is from Senator June Robinson. She's a Democrat from Everett. She chairs the Senate Ways and Means Committee, this primary tax writing committee. This is where this stuff is being discussed. She says, I always challenge, she's talking about people who are saying that they should make cuts. She says, I always challenge them to give me specific things to reduce in the budget. This is from Senator June Robinson, Democrat, Everett.
Good common sense perspective, sure.
She's saying that they absolutely going to need the income tax, and
because they've cut what they can.
She says they've cut what they can, which I at 12:30, respectfully, I completely disagree with, and I have put pencil to paper.
Oh yeah,
and I have I will solve all of their problems.
I love when this happens.
In 30 minutes.
I hope. Well,
right now.
When do they finally vote? They don't have to vote till like early March, right?
Yeah, they got time.
We got time.
They can check back in 30 minutes.
Perfect.
And this is free for them. I'm going to give them this, and it's just a common sense thing. I'm a very simple man, so I have to look at things very simply. Plus, I'm not a genius like these people who are so smart and they're our betters.
Well, you're also thinking of the greater good.
Of course.
You're thinking of the everyman.
Well, I'm the person that they're taking the money from.
Yeah.
And they're going to take, and they don't care because it's their job to take as much money. I guess that's how they see their job, is to take as much money as they can from people.
They put their hands on a bank statement and raise your left hand.
Yeah, exactly. You saw, we'll get into all this stuff.
We'll
get into all of this.
Oh, I can't wait. 12:30. You got all the answers.
We're going to solve all the problems at 12:30 for them.
Just 25 minutes away, people.
All you got to do is wait 25 minutes. And I'm not even joking. And this will solve their problems.
Good.
Will it be easy? No. Will it solve their problems? 100%.
Little pain. Got to be a little pain. A little sacrifice, right? A little skin in the game.
I wouldn't even necessarily call it like a ton of sacrifice, if I'm being completely honest.
Even better.
So, all right, so we'll get to that at 12:30ish, sometime around there. But this was Jamie Peterson this morning, Senator Jamie Peterson. He's the head of the Senate Democrats, introducing the millionaire tax before the committee.
You now have a proposal that I think, I hope will come out of the legislature eventually with roughly, 25 to 40% of the money being spent on reducing the tax burden.
As his bill stands right now, by the way, he's giving a reduction in the cost on the sales tax for deodorant and bathroom products, I believe. So like your shampoos,
sure,
your smell goods, really where people are spending the majority of their money.
That's where the bulk of my financial resources are dedicated to, hygiene, personal hygiene.
That's what Jamie Peterson thinks, personal
hygiene. Do you
hygiene.
get diapers in there? Because that's also a large part of my
Diapers is not in there. That was voted down. Diapers is not in there for old and the young. But he says that people who need this are really smelly, and so he wants them to have better hygiene products, I guess. I mean, that's the only thing that I can infer
from that. You're going to be broke, might as well smell good.
You might as well smell nice.
Can't take everything from me.
By the way,
my dignity.
Side note, deodorant's very expensive. If you want to get a good, high-quality deodorant, doesn't have aluminums and parabens and all that stuff, good golly. Do you know what I paid for a stick of deodorant the other day?
Not enough.
Do you
Not enough.
How much do you pay for deodorant?
Dude, 37 cents. I get it cheap.
Shut up.
I buy it stolen.
You literally just rub metal under your arm?
No,
I just buy aluminum now. And who's the genius?
The middleman.
Who's the genius that came up with that? Somebody's just putting tinfoil under your arms? Like, who came up with aluminum that makes you not sweat?
It doesn't cure the smell. It keeps it from the general public. That's what it is.
It just blocks it out?
Yeah.
You just have cups of aluminum or tinfoil filled with sweat and smell?
Back to your original question. $5.50.
$14.
For what are you buying? What are you putting, mink under your arms?
I am buying a mink. I am putting a mink under my arms.
It's a live mink.
It's a live mink, which explains why I'm so jumpy during the show.
It eats the bacteria.
No, but here's the thing.
That causes body odor.
It's
genius.
It just sits there and licks it. Like one of those stupid things that you're handing out to the Canadians, all the losers at the Olympics.
Yeah, the official mascot of the Milan Games. It's a stoot, I believe it is.
Yeah,
or something.
I bought a bunch of stoots, live ones, and I have affixed them under my armpits, and they're licking my smells away.
They're tariffed, by the way. You be careful bringing them back into the country.
Are they?
Yeah.
Right now, they're only licking Canadian tears. But no, so deodorant.
It's stoats. Maybe it's stoats.
A stoat?
I was so close.
A stoat.
STOAT.
Deodorant's super expensive.
A mountain weasel.
If you want to find the kind that doesn't have aluminum, it doesn't have all the bad stuff in it. It's just crazy expensive.
Yeah, that's
and my wife,
yeah.
I had no problem with it until my wife told me that all these deodorants were going to kill me. I didn't think that was going to be the thing that got me, was deodorant, but apparently that's it.
Gave up smoking, gave up drinking. Who knew it was the deodorant was going to take all the fun?
It was the deodorant. It was wanting to smell
Are you an Old Spice kind of guy?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. Can't afford it.
No, I mean, I'm.
Is that the? Oh no.
Dude, you go look at any deodorant, like their main ingredient, they're like putting on there that they're excited to tell you, like, look at all the aluminum we have in your deodorant. It's insane. Probably not what we plan on talking about, so I don't think the listening audience, I can literally see them going away.
$15? But if I can smell like vanilla and wood.
Is that what's that one? That's a $12 one? Who's that? Who makes that?
That's Old Spice.
Yeah, see, Old Spice even has it. What is that, 12 and change?
Yeah.
Yeah, 14 is not crazy.
$13. No.
It's like very high quality deodorant. It's made by monks. They make it, and they...
See, I buy this stuff called Old Spike. It's kind of a knockoff.
It's just a knockoff.
It's aftermarket.
It's made in China, and they just... It's the lowest... I'm searching for lowest quality deodorant.
There's
all right,
a
what are we talking about?
5-minute guarantee. On
Income
my
tax. All right,
smell.
income tax. Jamie Peterson. Speaking of things that smell bad, Jamie Peterson's tax bill, income tax that he wants to introduce. I cannot wrap my head around this, and it has to be stated. I hope you guys don't mind that I keep harping on this. But as we're having this discussion, think about how many times they have put it to the people and they've said no to an income tax. And now what they're trying to sell you is this idea hidden behind envy politics that rich people will be the ones paying this, which we know is not true. Rich people can get out of things. Even you were detailing how rich people get out of this.
They'll dodge it. They'll hide their money.
So it's not going to go to rich people. It's going to have to come out from somewhere else because they need the revenue stream. And just the idea, the brazen idea that not only do they not think that you deserve a vote in whether or not they want to change the Constitution so that they can do this thing that currently is illegal in our state.
Mm-hmm.
Not only do they not, they don't think that you should have a vote in that. They don't want you to have a vote in that.
You can't be trusted.
Because you can't be trusted to do what they want, which is to give over more of your money. Doesn't that feel crazy? Like when Jamie Peterson looks in the mirror, I don't know how tall he is, but I'm just going to make a joke, but I won't. When Jamie Peterson looks in the mirror.
Looks up into the mirror.
When he stares up. What is he thinking to himself? Like, is he honestly thinking to himself, this is going to play well with everybody in Washington across all political spectrums, because this is not about right or left. This is just about your money. If he really honestly believed that it's as popular as he says it is, then he would put it to the people. If he honestly believed that. But if he doesn't, then he won't. And he won't, which tells me that he doesn't believe it's actually popular.
Well, we can't risk the people turning down this
He can't risk the
idea.
people having a say in whether or not more of their money is going to be taken.
Yeah.
That's kind of a startling thing, actually.
Not really. It's kind of
Really?
it's par for the. I mean, I don't get me wrong. It's shocking but not surprising. Is that a fair way to frame it?
Yeah.
It's shocking, but it's not surprising.
I'm shocked by it. I don't know. Maybe I'm not as cynical as I thought I was about politicians, but I'm shocked by it. That they would try to make a good faith argument that you not having a say in how your money is being spent. Instead, basically, bureaucrats just choosing how much they're going to take from you.
Circular argument that you do have a say because you elected the folks that are making these decisions. That's who the people picked. That's the representative democracy.
Well, no. Yes, they have a say. You can, and I believe that will be the result if they pass this thing. There's a
you called it.
Small iota percentage of myself that feels like, hey, if they pass this thing, the silver lining is
that cliff behind you,
cleaning house.
Yeah, that line behind you that you shouldn't have crossed. That was the edge of the cliff, and you're now gone.
It feels that way. Washington has been a one-party state for 40 years, 40 plus years now. Maybe this is the thing where people wake up and go, hey, you know what? Maybe we've been duped. Maybe we're seeing it in a way that we shouldn't be seeing it. Maybe they're telling us something that's not true, which is that they just can't possibly make any cuts. That cannot be possibly true because we all experience that in life. We all have to make cuts.
Sure. Yeah,
and we figure it out.
We live in the practical real world of making ends meet. They live in the fantasy world of we'll just dig more. Yeah,
Oh, it drives me crazy. I can't spend all time on this because we're going to come back to this in 10 minutes when I solve all their problems for them. So we will come back to it in 10 minutes. Can we move on to the Savannah Guthrie stuff?
Sure.
This is a very interesting update. So Savannah Guthrie put out this Instagram video. Did she just put this out this morning or was this late yesterday? Sometime in the last 24 hours, Savannah Guthrie put this out. And she's now offering a $1 million reward. Listen to this.
We are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want. Someone out there knows something that can bring her home. Somebody knows. And we are begging you to please come forward now.
I want to pause this real fast to just point out, you were astutely noted the other day. There is definitely a switch in the tone
and the verbiage of a careful evolution of the messaging from this family.
Yeah.
And it was almost 2 weeks ago that I noticed that, they just bring her home.
It was no longer, please return our mother. We miss her so much. We love her. We want you. And they were, being very careful all the time to make sure they were saying her name. So they were humanizing her in a way. It definitely feels like they've shifted away from that. And now with this $1 million reward, will the floodgates open up of tips?
So please, if you hear this message, if you've been waiting and you haven't been sure, let this be your sign to please come forward, tell what you know, and help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave, and courageous and noble life that she has lived. Please be the light in the dark. Thank you.
The Guthries are also donating, I guess they're also donating $500,000 to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Do you think that this is going to be effective? In the reward initially was $50,000, and then it was up to $100,000. I think maybe 2 weeks into the investigation.
Yeah, that's right.
I think you and I at the time were saying that they were felt slow on the uptake on that reward.
Well, did you see the story from NBC that the Guthries wanted to make it $1 million from day one, and the sheriff in Pima County recommended discouraged that.
Why?
Saying that it would lead to far too many false leads. He said it would open the floodgates of
and it might confuse
reward
the
seekers,
investigation.
or overwhelm the investigative capabilities. Even with the expanded local law enforcement, federal law enforcement, the president dedicating any resource necessary to help this family recover Nancy.
Because you got to chase down the leads.
Every lead.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and maybe he's right, but in hindsight, now that it's $1 million, it's hard to say if that was a factor in the fact that no one has come forward with any information. When we talked to the director of fugitive recovery, the Bounty Hunters, the president of the Bounty Hunter Association, he said it's always somebody that's an associate. It's somebody in the periphery of whatever criminal it is. When they're looking for somebody, it's somebody that they know. It's somebody that they spoke with. It's somebody
very often
who's
flips
sitting on information. Exactly. And was 50 not enough? Was 100 not enough? Is $1 million's a lot more?
I mean, $1 million. That's like 100 is life changing money for people, but $1 million is
there's a I don't know, there's a level. $1 million, $1 million. I mean, not to Jay Inslee or Bob Ferguson, but it's still $1 million.
There is a mental thing that kicks in with $1 million.
Yes,
that's why game show prizes are $1 million.
That's why the gorilla had $1 million check. And we're not trying to be contrite about this very, very horrific and serious story, but trust me. But is the sheriff wrong that it would have overwhelmed the capabilities of hunting down leads?
I feel it's obviously hindsight's 20/20, so who
exactly.
knows?
We'll never know.
And you and I are not professional investigators, although we did solve some crimes. What I will say is, in retrospect, having listened to a few interviews with him, Sheriff Nanos, out of Pima County, even when the reward was $50,000, they had something like 18,000 tips, which again, for law enforcement in that area being in the couple hundred, 18,000 tips is already an unmanageable level.
Agree. Well, imagine that tenfold then.
But at that point, what's the difference? And maybe somebody who comes in with an obvious tip. Think about in 18,000 tips, maybe there's a bunch of people you look around and they have, maybe somebody comes at you when it's $1 million and says, here's concrete evidence, and that rises to the top. It's not like they're in order of receival. Is that a right word? Receival? That's not right. Is that a real word?
Receivers? I don't know. I'm not sure where you're going, so.
It's not like they have to respond in the order in which they were received.
Oh, no.
So some tips are going to look legitimate,
right.
And some are going to look fake.
Easily dismissed or
they can
quickly
dismiss
run
some.
down.
They can easily say hey, you know what? Somebody might send in something very serious. They might say, here's a picture of something. And that's instantly that jumps to the top of that, let's say it's 75,000 tips. And then you have one that's like, oh man, this looks like a real thing.
Yeah.
Because that number is now a big, I think there's a reason why when you look at some of these other big cases, the number of the number that they reward is quite high. I think they do that for a reason because it works. And I know that it can generate a lot of response.
Yeah.
But there must be a way that they can sift through that and, take the serious ones and throw out the bad ones.
Well, yeah, these are experts in their field. they can probably look at various tips and know right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And they can eliminate quite a few of them out of hand.
The haunting question now for the Guthrie family is if that was their instinct right away.
Right.
And the sheriff talked them out of it, which is what NBC is saying. Do they have to live with that for the rest of their life thinking, well, did we get bad advice? That's not obviously that's, who knows? It's impossible to say. You're going to drive yourself crazy thinking like that.
Exactly. I feel sorry for the family.
But you hope that somebody steps up now and says, hey, you know what? I saw something. I saw a car driving in a weird way. There's just, somebody's got to come forward. I would be shocked if this just turns into
never know
a cold case that never gets solved. All the resources, all the attention that it's gotten.
And resources are expanding. They're bringing in private resources now,
Yeah. Oh, that's an interesting part of it, too. Yeah. The private online influencer community who's now coming in to investigate. Like, is that good? Is that bad? We should talk about that later. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, there's resources there that can benefit the family.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to solve all of the state's budget problems next. Very simple. So who's this lady again? Senator June Robinson, Democrat from Everett. If somebody knows her, you should tell her to tune into the show. We'll solve all her problems. Coming up next. We'll be right back.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Meet Matthew Preston. Inside his apartment, everything he holds dear is protected by Progressive's renter's insurance, like his laptop and a surprisingly valuable collection of baseball bobbleheads. Outside his apartment, his laptop is still protected, as are his bobbleheads, which he carries around with him for reasons no one knows. Renters, the limits of protection aren't just the four walls of your home. When you're in Progressive's Protection Zone, get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers.
Are you 50 or older? This news is for you. The CDC recommends you get vaccinated against pneumococcal pneumonia. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at risk. People 50 or older are over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia compared to adults 18 to 49. Just one shot can help protect you. Learn more and schedule at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. we can help.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for fast, friendly service with guaranteed repairs. With 16 family-owned locations and a Carfax preferred badge, Bucky's makes it easy with same-day service and available financing. Visit buckys.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. We are following a mass casualty incident in Pierce County this hour. James Lynch has arrived on scene and has the very latest. James?
Nate, we're on Key Peninsula in Avenue Court Northwest, where we are told this morning a man approached a home here where he was subject of a protection order that was sought, granted, but not yet served. Deputies started moving in this direction when they got a call that there was someone being stabbed at the location. And got to the scene. Here's Shelby Boyd with Tacoma Police with what happened.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. One victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
So police are still, or deputies, I should say, are still on scene here, but Tacoma Police has taken over the investigation. They'll try to figure out what happened and why, where he wasn't wanted. In the James Lynch Radio.
All right. Thanks, James. The man accused of setting a fire and nearly causing an explosion in a trauma room at Harborview Medical Center's ER pleaded not guilty this morning.
29-year-old Stephen Sorrow is charged with arson, malicious mischief, and assault. The prosecution says on February 14th he caused about $100,000 damage to that trauma room. The prosecution asked that he be held on $250,000 bail.
I would also ask that the court order as conditions of release that the defendant have no contact with the named victims in this case, as well as Harborview Medical Center.
The judge granted all those requests. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
A political showdown is brewing in Olympia over the proposed 9.9% income tax on millionaires. KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey has more from one millionaire who testified in support of the bill.
Jay Blumenthal, who made his millions in big tech and supports the bill, told House members it's easy for the rich to remain rich because they don't need to risk as much as families living paycheck to paycheck.
Our economic system, including our state's upside-down tax system, works extremely well for the already wealthy. We need tax policy where all rich people are required to pay their fair share.
House Republicans have pledged to stop the millionaire's tax bill dead in its tracks. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Governor Ferguson says he won't sign the proposed bill unless lawmakers promise to spend the $3 billion on specific needs like health care and education. And now look at your KIRO News Radio traffic. Our map is showing wide open roadways this noon hour. We do have that minor backup approaching the Ship Canal work zone here in Seattle, northbound, adding maybe 4 to 5 minutes to that northbound commute. And we have road work all week at the Agate Pass Bridge where drivers are alternating across the bridge. And this work is between 9 and 2 p.m. daily through Friday. Plan on a good 20 to 30 minutes to get through this. Right now, backups aren't too bad, but you need to plan accordingly, especially if you have plans to catch the Seattle Bainbridge Ferry. This report brought to you by KIRO News Radio. Your weather, 48 and mostly cloudy this afternoon. Overnight lows right around 40 degrees. The sun is trying to break through, partly cloudy and 47 over downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we're going to play some audio clips for you here. There's some folks that think that the millionaire's tax is a good idea. There's some folks that think it's a bad idea. Should we hear from the people who want it first, Spike, and then we can move our way down to the other folks?
Sure. I want to get to your solution.
You've got it figured
out.
I've got my solution. I've got it figured out.
Okay.
But I'm going to tease you with it. I'm going to make you stick around for a minute. Okay. All right. This is who is this here? This is Hans Mulders.
Hans Mulders.
Hans Mulders. Yeah. Who owns
Chelan Hospitality.
What is the thing he owns? It's an inn in Chelan, right?
It's a conglomerate of.
He owns a bunch
resorts.
of stuff in Chelan.
Yeah.
Yeah, a bunch of stuff.
He's a very wealthy man.
Cutest little places you've ever seen. Yep. Adorable. All right, he's in favor of it. Here it is.
Let me be direct. The wealthiest people in this state, my wife and me among them, are not paying our fair share. And the result is that working families and public schools are asked to make up the difference.
Jabe? Is it Jabe?
Jabe Blumenthal.
Jabe Blumenthal.
He's one of those folks that you ever seen those folks, the original Microsoft team? With a young, still pimply-faced Bill Gates.
I know two people in that picture.
Well, this is one of the. This is also.
He's in one of them.
He's in one of
them.
them.
Okay. He's one of those guys. Gotcha.
Our economic system.
Does he still have the pimples? I'm just kidding.
That's Gates?
No.
Different reason. I don't know.
Our economic system, including our state's upside-down tax system, works extremely well for the already wealthy. We need tax policy where all rich people are required to pay their fair share.
All rich people are required to pay their fair share. I should correct myself. I don't know the two people in the picture. I'm friends with we're friends with this girl whose parents are in that picture together. Isn't that wild?
One of those people who have a $12 million sofa because they sold 8 shares back in 1989.
Exactly.
To buy a sofa.
It's like the first guy who ever bought a pizza with 60 Bitcoin.
Right.
Bitcoin a piece or worth $60,000 now.
It's 2020.
All right. So Hans and Jabe. Is there anybody who supports this that has a normal name? Good Lord. Hans and Jabe.
Well, these are the elite, super wealthy people. Mm-hmm. And, we've had discussions about, it's a matter of your perspective.
Sure.
One of the things that Mulder said in his is we benefit from a stable legal system, stable financial system, funded by taxpayers. We drive on publicly funded roads. We didn't build our wealth alone. Those kind of sentiments. That if you believe in opportunity, fairness, in the future of our children, it's time for those of us who've done extremely well.
Yeah, it's like it's all the catchphrases that they say. Don't you like roads?
This guy's got.
There's other states who do
roads. This guy's got skin in the game. That's the point.
No, I understand. I understand. Yeah. I understand. If he wanted to donate more money, he could, but he's choosing not to. He wants it taken from everybody. I would imagine too. I don't know this for a fact, but I would imagine too that they also are benefiting from the tax system that they're criticizing right now?
Absolutely they are. Sure they are.
So how is that possible morally? How are they doing that without
I'm sure
just
they
losing
donate,
sleep every night?
I'm sure they donate. They do wonderful philanthrop work. That's how you mitigate that.
Senator Chris Gilden, he says the millionaire tax will eventually become an income tax, which is what people are concerned about. Nobody feels bad for, in all honesty, I disagree with it on principle. I don't think they should be changing the Constitution. I don't think that they should be taxing millionaires unfairly. I do believe it's unfair, even though they're saying they need to pay their fair share. It's like the opposite of what they're saying. But Senator Chris Gilden says that this millionaire tax will not stay a millionaire's tax, which is the main thing that people are complaining about. They're saying, hey, we can see down the road. We're not idiots as much as you might think we are. We're not idiots. If you're saying you're unwilling to stop this thing at $1 million and it'll never dip below it, then clearly you're not tying your hands for a reason, because in the future, you're going to lower that threshold.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Which will 100% happen. Yeah. But here's what Chris Gilden had to say.
If this bill passes today, future legislatures can easily come back and change the threshold from $1 million down to $500,000 to $250,000. They can apply it to anyone that they want to.
It's already technically $500,000 because it's per household, right? So like 2 people making $500,000 would qualify, would be on the millionaire's tax now if they make anything above. So it is per household.
Frame it that way, yeah.
Across our state, it could become a universal income tax with just a simple majority vote. And without the people having the right to referendum. This is the wrong bill, does the wrong things for our state. It will have damaging effects, and I urge you to vote no.
He also says the relief that's being promised is laughable.
This bill offers the false hope of reform. It offers no direct dollars to support education, as has been suggested. Those dollars, the vast majority of them, go directly into the general fund. Yeah, it provides a paltry tax break on personal hygiene products, I mean, seriously?
I actually really would like a tax break on some. We talked about it last segment. Deodorant's getting crazy expensive.
I was completely in the dark on the cost of personal hygiene.
Well, your eyes are open now, buddy.
They are.
It's like taking the pill in the Matrix. You know what deodorant costs now. You could never go back.
Honestly, people see through this. People mock the low level of tax relief that this bill has. Even the Seattle Times mocks this, Mr. President. It's laughable at how low this level of direct tax relief is. It's embarrassing, quite honestly.
Okay, so here's where I can solve all their problems for them. Senator June Robinson, Democrat from Everett, chair of the Senate and Ways Committee, Senate Ways and Means, which is, again, the people who are deciding our tax policy, who sift through all these things. I would also hope that they would actually have some good insight into right and wrong with taxes, what's good, what's bad, what's going to be bad for people down the road. I don't know that they do, but she's the chair of the Senate Ways and Means Committee. But she says, according to this piece here that I saw, she says that critics should suggest specific cuts if they want lawmakers to abandon the idea.
Didn't she text the show yesterday?
Did she text the show?
We got things. Either
we did get a text from somebody at the end of the show.
Hey,
they said,
be specific.
They said, quit whining.
Yeah, be specific.
Okay, here's what I would say specifically. And Robinson says, I will always challenge them to give me specific things to reduce in the budget. Here would be my, this is a general question to her. Spike, I would like your opinion on this as well.
Sure.
Do you think that it would be a good idea for the state they are required by law to balance the budget, right? So they can't
operate in a deficit.
They can't operate in a deficit.
Okay, yeah.
So that makes sense.
That's why there are these supplemental budgets.
Yes.
These amendment budgets. That's why we passed the budget months ago, but now they've got to come back and say we can't just operate in the red.
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
I understand why they're saying it. I don't like the way they want to get around it, but I understand why they're saying it. Do you think also it's a good idea to factor in, because I understand that, like, listen, when we talk about like the prices of houses and things like that, like, and we had that stat the other day about how in 1952, what was it, 48% of 30-year-olds were married and owned a home.
And owned a home,
and now it's 12%.
Yep, exactly.
So, obviously houses have gotten more expensive. I understand inflation and all that stuff. Yeah. So we should also factor in, I think it would be wise to factor in, and we currently don't do this, but we should factor in inflation to how we look at budgets. Don't you think that would be wise?
Oh, absolutely. It's why they're underwater. It's one of the reasons they're underwater. What's one of the reasons they're underwater?
That's not the case. That's absolutely not the case. Here's why. We looked yesterday at 2019. I had a number for you yesterday, how much the state budget has grown since 2019.
Yeah.
And the reason I picked 2019 is because I didn't want it to be mired in, locked into, because it would be unfair for me to assess all of the mass hysteria stuff that was happening during the pandemic. Spending went through the roof. I can forgive them for things like that.
Sure.
People were doing crazy things. They were telling you to go outside with 2 masks on. I mean, that's like, it's just, that was a crazy time. So let's look at pre-pandemic stuff. 2019. State budget was about $50 billion.
Okay.
Adjusted for inflation, the budget today is, right now, they're saying that the budget today is proposed is like over $80 billion now.
Yeah.
If you were to tie it to inflation, the budget would only be $63 billion. So somewhere along the way, they have spent an extra $17 billion above inflation, so they're up 66%.
I wasn't saying it was all due to inflation. I'm saying it's one of the factors.
But you can't blame inflation.
Well, sure you can. It's one of the factors. All things cost more these days. Services cost more.
Inflation, 26%. It's grown since 2019.
Yeah.
That should be the only thing that gets you an increase in the budget. I don't think they should be raising it for anything else.
Not serving more people, not providing more services?
That's all adjusted for inflation. And they're not serving more people. They're serving 300,000 more people, or whatever the number is.
Okay.
And even less from 2019. Okay. So what I'm saying is tie it to inflation. Don't allow them to go above that. Keep your purse strings tight, just like we all do. Our checks are basically tied to inflation. I mean, how many people are getting big raises at work these days? Generally, when you get a raise at work or a bump, they don't even call it a raise anymore. They call it a bump. It's generally inflation. They say, here's 3%.
Right.
So why isn't the state doing that? I think that would be wise. I would introduce a bill that says that they cannot raise the budget more than the increase in inflation. And if you were to do that, starting 2019, if you were to do that, the budget today would be $63 billion, and $17 billion wouldn't be overspent. Right. And they'd have that money somewhere in the pockets of people, hopefully.
When you looked at before the cuts they made, before the increases, the tax increases they passed, that's kind of where we were.
63 billion?
So that was close. They were 15 under, right? Were they 15 underwater? Or 16 underwater? They cut 7, they raised 9. They were 16 billion under budget when they went into the last cycle. They made $7 billion in cuts. They made,
the budget,
$9 billion increases.
The budget was what was the budget 2 years ago?
I thought there was 16 billion under. We got to wrap it up.
We got to wrap it up here. I would tie it to inflation. That's
great,
what I would do. I would tie it to inflation. That seems like a simple, easy thing to me. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO News Radio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. March is the start of spring. Thank the Lord. Unfortunately, my outdoor to-do list is already growing, but fortunately, Valentine Roofing has my back and yours when it comes to checking off those exterior maintenance jobs that put you in a precarious position. And with Valentine's huge March promotion, they're not only going to take care of you this year, they have your back for next year too. This month only, you can get a free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof. Then enjoy seasonal checkups and professional care to keep your new roof looking its best. And with flexible financing payments as low as $159 a month, you're going to get the Valentine experience, guaranteed with every project, seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, and extra mile service. This is the best deal. So it's no surprise Valentine Roofing is trusted across the Puget Sound by thousands of homeowners and was voted the 2025 Gold Best Roofing Company in the Seattle Times Best in the Pacific Northwest Awards. Take advantage of Valentine's free year of roof maintenance when you purchase a new roof by calling 206 Roofing. That's 206 Roofing.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free. Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free. Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9th. Restrictions apply.
Your old furnace ain't nice, and your toes are like ice. DayandNight.net. Save $1,700 when you have Day and Night match your current furnace with a qualifying AC or heat pump.
Your furnace is lonely all by itself, but it doesn't have to be. With our Matchmaker Special, we'll match your furnace with a perfect air conditioner or heat pump to keep your furnace company and your home comfy all year round.
Match your furnace to a qualifying cooling system and save $1,700.
DayandNight.net.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Say goodbye to clogged gutters and climbing ladders. With K-Guard by Guardian, leaves stay out, water flows freely, and your home stays protected year-round. Enjoy true peace of mind, no maintenance and no rust. Choose from a variety of colors to match your home's look and boost your curb appeal. Ready for hassle-free gutters? Protect what matters most with Guardian, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Visit GuardianRoofing.com to learn more.
All right, welcome back to the show. This is the interesting and weird world of college sports, so we're going to get into it for just a second. Seattle Times has this piece where they have been, here's the headline, what are UW athletes being paid inside a 6-month quest to find out? So they are trying to figure out, basically all inspired by that crazy story about Damon Williams Jr.
Damon Williams. Back in November, I believe.
Who signed with UW for $4 million and then announced that he was leaving to go somewhere else where he was likely to get $6 million. And
early January, sorry. Not
early
November,
there you go.
January.
First part of the year. So he would have gotten, if he had gone somewhere else, he would have made an extra $2 million.
Well, that's reported by an anonymous source.
Yeah.
It was LSU rumored to be the people trying to lure him away.
But I would think if he was willing to break a signed contract and think that that was, worth doing, the number would have been high enough that you would have been like, hey, you know what? I'm going to look kind of silly here, but that's a lot of money. That's a life-changing amount of money.
Yeah.
So that thing kind of blew up in his face. His agent dropped him. Who I think also represents the coach of the Huskies.
That's
that
true.
Right?
Yes, correct. Yeah.
So his agent dropped him. He then kind of comes back and says, "Hey, you know what? Obviously, I'm young. Bad advice. Yada yada.
Team.
I'm coming back.
Yeah.
I'm excited to be here, gang.
Love it.
So he's back with the school.
I got 4 million reasons to be happy.
Yes, but I don't have 6.
Allegedly.
But I have 4 million to be happy. So Seattle Times was wondering. They said, well, how much is the UW putting out to pay these players through these NIL deals? And they've been trying to find out, and they have been unable to find out. And I was interested in this because I just assumed that the UW, being a public university, would have to disclose where they were spending some of this money because public dollars. But you kind of informed me that that's not exactly how college sports works.
Well, in college sports, the athletic department isn't funded by public dollars. It's funded by ticket sales, TV revenue, and philanthropy. I'm using air quotes, boosters, big money boosters. And that's always been the case in college football. When you look at some of the programs in the Deep South, Texas, wherever it might be, the powerhouses, the Michigans, Ohio States, they've always got these big boosters that help finance, whether it's Phil Knight down in Oregon, who built their complex and funded that department to make it the national powerhouse that it is, because it's a place athletes want to come and play. That evolved.
They have fancy new jerseys, which they switch into at halftime.
147 jersey uniform combinations down there.
Wild.
Right? And believe it or not, that's one of the attractions that brings in the top athletes.
Sure,
is the marketing, the flash. Yeah.
You look at some of these locker rooms or player development areas.
They rival the NFL. In some cases, they surpass the NFL. But all that being said, it has evolved. The thinking has evolved that athletes receive zero compensation outside of a scholarship. And don't get me wrong, I understand that for a long time that was plenty. The college education was a plenty fair trade for the services of these athletes. But when it became a multi-billion-dollar industry, college football, it was universally decided that athletes deserve to make more. That's how we got to where we are today. Now the question is, does the university disclose what they pay these athletes? That's what the Times is going after. How much of the NIL money is going to? How many female athletes have been signed? How much are the lesser players getting? Is it a select few? Yada yada yada.
So why aren't they disclosing this information?
There are various rules in place with regard to students in general about public information, and student athletes have even more regulations on them. Basically, they say it's a trade secret, is what the UW is qualifying. UW has fought these requests for public information. They've fought them a couple different times in court. They've released every NIL agreement, the revenue sharing agreements with all their university athletes. So redacted, not a single name, not a single number, not even the gender of these athletes. It's here's all the forms. You won't tell who they are, how much they make, because it's all been redacted, because they feel that this is I'll boil it down. If they tell publicly how much they're paying these athletes, other universities will know how much it takes to poach these athletes.
Okay.
That
makes sense.
It's kind of like a secret bid.
Yeah, that makes total sense.
Yeah, it does, because then it becomes a bidding war, and athletes are just getting paid, and it starts to escalate up. They have some control over, you pay what a kid thinks, is this fair? Is this worth it?
Mm-hmm.
If you got a good agent like Williams had, you field offers. The reason Williams got in trouble was because he had signed this letter of agreement. Is that
how we're even aware of the number? Somebody must have leaked that information.
An anonymous source.
Because otherwise we wouldn't have known.
We wouldn't have known. Yeah. But
that's interesting. But
that information is leaked nationally, because they always say, these are the top 5 transfer portal quarterbacks. This is what they will bring in on the market for NIL. They got a ballpark range.
Now, NIL money with UW in this case for Williams, that's $4 million just for the university. That doesn't count like any sponsorships you might have.
No,
right?
doesn't include outside sponsors.
So if he makes another deal, he's actually making more than that.
Probably so.
Interesting. It's really interesting because in the NFL, we know how much those guys make.
Oh, we know how much coaches make because they're paid in a public university. They're paid with your dollars.
Yeah.
They don't have every doctor.
Yeah, they're like the highest paid
every
state
professor.
Employee always
right.
is whoever's coaching at WSU or UW.
And those people can be poached to better jobs because it's public records.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO Newsradio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Cold is leaking in rats are moving and mold is creeping in, water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
This month, Pure Talk is honoring Jackson and Lincoln by offering unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data for just $25 a month. Meanwhile, Big Wireless is honoring Benjamin Franklin by charging families hundreds of dollars for the same 5G service. What's up with that? Ben Franklin wasn't even a president. When you switch to Pure Talk, you'll be in business with an American wireless company that supports our vets in a big way and keeps all their customer service in this country. That's important. And you'll be on the same towers the big carriers use, so you'll get the same 5G service without the inflated price. So hang on to your Benjamins and switch to Pure Talk for a Jackson and a Lincoln. No contract, no hidden fees. Dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll get 50% off your first month when you switch. That's pound 250, Mike Rowe, for an American wireless company that is truly unprecedented. Pure Talk.
Thanks for calling CM Heating.
Aren't you the company that gives away free furnaces?
That's us. Buy a qualifying high-efficiency cooling system and the furnace is free.
Wow.
Yeah, and our home comfort advisors are tax credit and rebate specialists, so they'll handle the rebate for you.
Go to CM Heating for better comfort, lower bills, and a free furnace you'll love for years. Get your free estimate for furnace replacement at cmheating.com. And remember, for furnaces, fireplaces, hot water, and total home comfort, including electrical,
There's no beating CM Heating.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
Couponing. Wow, you didn't strike me as the coupon type.
Just trying to stay ahead of inflation. Gas, groceries, everything. It's all more expensive. I need to save wherever I can.
Have you tried Upside yet?
Upside? What's that?
It's a free app that I use that pays cash back for every gallon of gas I buy. You've got to buy gas to get around anyway. Might as well get paid for it.
Come on, does that really add up to anything?
I've already made around $200. The extra cash helped pay down my bills, and I even had a little extra left to treat myself.
And the Upside app is free?
Totally free. easy, and the cash back is real. You can transfer the cash right to your bank account.
I'm downloading Upside right now.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code ENJOY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, to PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code ENJOY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Big Trees is Washington's premier tree sales and transplant company. Looking for a big selection of big trees? Visit Big Trees in Snohomish or BigTreeSupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly.
Hair Volume from New Nordic will make your hair look thick and healthy. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon and NewNordicUSA.com or in the hair care aisle at your local CVS.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, your home for original reporting.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump at 9 o'clock tonight Eastern Time will deliver the State of the Union address. CBS's Olivia Rinaldi says he'll...
Talking about affordability, lowering gas prices, lowering housing prices and rent, and numerous things that they're expected to discuss. They're also going to talk about crime, lowering crime across the United States. The president will be focused on that, and certainly immigration as well, as that is a really key central tenet of why he won the election in 2024.
Several Democrats say they will not attend, and to that, GOP Senator Rick Scott of Florida responds.
I attended Biden's speeches. I thought they were horrible. I thought he didn't do a good job as president. I think he destroyed our economy, but I showed up. I think you should respect the Constitution, respect the presidency, and show up.
Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger will deliver the Democratic response to the president's address, which will begin shortly after his speech ends. An American Airlines 737 MAX 8 was found with an apparent bullet hole in the right wing's aileron, while the plane was in Medellin, Colombia yesterday. That according to sources familiar with the matter and documents reviewed by CBS News. The aileron controls the roll of the aircraft. The plane flew from Miami to Medellin last evening as Flight 923. American says there were no injuries and no flight-related issues. Temporary repairs were made, allowing the plane to return to the U.S. with passengers. Savannah Guthrie says her family is offering a reward of up to $1 million for the recovery of their mother, Nancy. Guthrie says the family understands that their mother may not be alive.
Help us bring our beloved mom home so that we can either celebrate a glorious, miraculous homecoming or celebrate the beautiful, brave and courageous and noble life that she has lived.
Authorities say Nancy Guthrie was taken against her will from her Tucson area home. The House has failed to pass legislation that would have required all aircraft flying around busy airports to have key locator systems. CBS's Cammie McCormick.
The head of the NTSB said the Rotor Act would have prevented the mid-air collision near Washington, D.C. that killed 67 people. That involved a passenger plane and an Army helicopter. The legislation would require most aircraft to be equipped with a system that can receive data about the location of other aircraft. It also would have forced a safety review of flight routes at many airports, as well as limits on when the military could turn off the location technology. The Pentagon had backed the measure, but pulled its support ahead of the House vote.
4 years after Russia invaded Ukraine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky says that Russia has not broken Ukrainians nor triumphed in its war. The stocks closed up on Wall Street today. This is CBS News.
Every Sunday, moderator Margaret Brennan goes face-to-face with top leaders to make you better informed. Face the Nation, Sunday on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
We are following a mass casualty incident near Gig Harbor this afternoon. More on that right after a quick check on your KIRO News Radio traffic. Northbound 99 here in Seattle. Just a brief backup there at the First Avenue South Bridge where two right lanes remain closed for emergency repairs. This closure is with us through March 6th. That is when WashDOT will give us an update on the repairs needed in a more substantial timeline, delaying your trip by just a few minutes. Same story through downtown Seattle. North 5, minor backup approaching the Ship Canal work zone, adding 4 to 5 minutes to your commute. In the Agate Pass Bridge, we've got bridge work all this week. Drivers are alternating across the bridge right now. There's about 10-minute backups in each direction. Work is daily again through Friday between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. This traffic update brought to you by KIRO News Radio.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. A mass casualty incident leaves 4 victims dead near Purdy. Deputies say it started just before 9 this morning when a 32-year-old man showed up at a house where someone had filed a protection order against him. Tacoma police officer Shelby Boyd is with the Pierce County Force and Investigation Team.
There are 3 victims that were deceased on scene. 1 victim was transported to a local hospital and was pronounced later. And then the suspect was shot by the deputy.
The suspect also died at the scene. Investigators say the deputy opened fire after the man was seen stabbing people outside the home. A 46-year-old Edmonds man is charged with child rape in King County. He pleaded not guilty today. Prosecutors say Roberto Rodriguez, a school paraeducator for deaf students, allegedly sexually abused a girl for years, starting when she was 10 years old. He was working as her private tutor. This is part of what the judge had to say.
Every now and then, when I think I've seen everything, there's always a case that comes along that shocks me.
His bail was set at $750,000, which he has already posted. His trial is set for March 23rd. Flights between Puerto Vallarta and SeaTac resumed today as violence in western Mexico appeared to be easing. Shandy Boyle, who's from Cle Elum, is still in lockdown at her resort in Puerto Vallarta. She described what she saw to the John Curley Show.
From our hotel, we can see, and we woke up to smoke smell, but we didn't know what it was, obviously, at first. But there were several fires that you could see in Puerto Vallarta.
The violence sparked after the Mexican military killed Mexico's most powerful cartel leader known as El Mencho. Cartel loyalists set hundreds of cars, trucks, and buildings on fire. At least 80 people have been killed, including National Guard troops and suspected gang members. It's been 4 months since a hit-and-run driver slammed into a man at a crosswalk, seriously injuring him and killing his dog. This week, Thurston County Sheriff's detectives made an arrest. Investigators were able to identify the car the suspect was driving. They got a hit on flock license plate trackers the same night in Puyallup. Although they found the car, it took months and multiple search warrants to identify a suspect. And now your KIRO News Radio weather, mostly cloudy and 48 this afternoon. We could see a stray shower here and there. Same forecast into the weekend with highs warming up closer to 50. 47 and partly cloudy in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 1 hour down, 2 hours to go. Man, we have a lot of stuff to get to. We do. Now, how we're going to do it? Just going to keep pushing on, see what we can get to. There's a lot of stuff to talk about today. Unfortunately, this stabbing at Purdy is a wild story. We still don't have all the details on it. James Lynch is on the scene. We were told 4 deaths earlier. Now we're being told it's 5 deaths.
Well, yeah, including the assailant?
Including,
the hacker?
Including,
right?
Let's see here. Yeah. Ugh. Just crazy. And it's different when it's, I mean, you can just, with a knife being the weapon they keep discussing, it's so grisly. The whole thing is just awful. So we're still, we'll still give you updates on that as we know more. But that was this morning. Just nobody expected that. Wild morning. All right, let's move on to some other stuff. We'll give you updates on that as we know more. Can we talk a little bit about, this is an update to a story that we discussed yesterday. It was a massive story. It was Puerto Vallarta.
Oh, yeah.
Was shut down. And the reason it was shut down is because the biggest cartel leader in Mexico, right?
Yes, El Mencho.
El Mencho.
Yeah, leader of the Jalisco cartel, the new generation. They call themselves.
Yeah, Jalisco.
This guy came from one of the fastest, not to be like bragging on him or give him accolades, but the fastest rising drug kingpin in Mexican history.
Yep.
Gained complete control of the western coast of Mexico.
Notorious for basically all the fentanyl and meth and cocaine that came into the U.S.
I mean, crazy drug numbers, crazy numbers. And now that the government got out and with help from the American government's intelligence agencies, gave them like satellite tracking on this guy, informant information on this guy's location. They took out El Mencho, and now all hell's breaking loose in
cartel
Mexico.
members, all the just outbreak of things being lit on fire,
retaliatory
shutting
violence,
down roads.
And the violence was against the federal agents or the enforcement agents of the Mexican government.
Yeah.
Not against civilians.
Well,
not against tourists.
But you were still told, if you were an American citizen, you were in the area, they still told you to shelter in place. Which is very, very scary.
Yeah.
But you also, in all these articles that I was reading, they were all acknowledging that the local cartel, which is responsible for much public goodwill in that area, even despite what they do in the United States with drugs. In the area, they are responsible for, they want to ingratiate themselves with the people. So they have they contribute to local infrastructure. They're a large employer locally.
Yeah.
Even as bad as it is, what they're doing. But they just lost it. And their leader was down. And so they started shutting things down. But all these articles were basically saying they understand the value of the tourist dollar. And if the tourist dollar dries up, that's a bad thing.
Well, these cartels, they lean on the citizenry in an organized crime capacity, much like we're used to in American history.
Sure.
Right? If the tourists
like a mob goes into a business like, hey, you know what? We'll protect you by not
Exactly.
by letting you do business.
So if hotels don't have and tourist agencies don't have guests, they can't. There's no juice to kick upstairs to the cartels. They know that's where the bread is buttered, is tourism.
It's this weird, this weird relationship.
Well, that brings us to today's headlines.
So here's my question for you. So they shut down a bunch of flights going in and out of Puerto Vallarta. They have now opened back up flights. If you had planned, because we got spring, we just finished, a lot of people just finished spring break for
midwinter
kids' school.
Yeah.
Midwinter break.
I know, it takes
spring break is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Would you go to Puerto Vallarta right now?
I'm sorry, that was a serious question.
That's a serious question. Obviously, flights are going again.
They are. I'm hoping
somebody booked a flight for today, and they had to make a decision. Hey, honey, you saw the news yesterday.
Right.
Do we feel comfortable flying?
I'm pretty sure travel insurance doesn't cover cartel uprising in your refundable
Great
deposits.
Question.
Right?
Would travel insurance cover that?
I can't imagine. You'd just be out. You either take your life and safety, your family safety in your own hands, or lose out on your money for travel. I mean, if I'm wrong, please let me know. 888-973-5476, the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line. If your travel insurance covers cartel uprising, I'll stand corrected.
Maybe it does, but you have to click the box.
Did you click the box ahead of time?
Click the box.
I got to tell you, I saw this headline today. I thought it was The Onion. I thought it was a joke.
Yeah.
We pulled the burned out cars off the runway so the airport's open, so come on back. The sun is shining. The piña coladas are cold waiting for you in Puerto Vallarta.
That's the only thing that could get me down there.
Is the sun or the piña coladas?
The fresh-made piña coladas. I think that, and I want to drink it out of a coconut.
Yeah, it's the greatest.
That sounds pretty great.
Pineapple.
But am I willing to risk my life? It is a delicious mixed drink. But am I willing to risk my life? Probably not, if I'm being completely honest.
When the story broke yesterday about the federal government stepping in and taking out the largest kingpin in the Mexican drug cartel empires, is this enough for is that all they're going to do? Is that the Mexican government made their strike, they're going to stop there, or are they going to go all in? Are they going to try to clean up their country?
Or do they try to figure out how to just make this go away? I mean, the response was so big, and then tourists just stopped. Did Mexico go, whoa? We need tourists.
Yeah, never mind. You guys, we'll just find a happy medium.
Robert J. Bunker, he's the director of research at CNO Futures. It's a security consulting group. I'd never heard of him until I was reading this article. But he was asked about whether or not people should be worried, will cartel members target American citizens? Because in my head, that's exactly who they would target. But he says, quote, this cartel is very much a wild card. He says, I think there will be an initial lash out at authorities, but it wouldn't make sense to attack tourists. So he's kind of saying that I don't think, and he's written books on the topic. He's saying it doesn't make sense.
Travel guide so you're riding with the cartel.
He's like a Rick Steves of cartel areas, but he says it wouldn't make sense to attack tourists. And I'm like, when I hear that, initially in my head I go, okay, well, why don't we let somebody else try it first, and then we'll see how it goes.
There you go. That's what I'm thinking.
You give me like 3 months of solid travel and no heads in a duffel bag, then I'm willing to consider it.
Well, when we talked to Charlie Harger, who was there, through the grace of God, just a week earlier,
and
didn't have his travel interrupted. I was down last time. I've been there in 20, 25 years. But even 20, 25 years ago, it wasn't safe in a lot of places in Mexico. The expert you mentioned said no travel to Mexico is ever risk-free. You have to travel smart. You have to go to places that you know are being somewhat controlled with some federality representation. I don't mean to be pejorative in my description of the military presence.
You would like a healthy government where you're not worried for your safety
I want a waiter.
cartels.
I want a waiter with a tray and an armed gunman at the beach entrance.
I don't feel like that's too much to ask.
I don't think it is.
And that's also a pretty low bar. Like when you're deciding where to go on vacation, like the most I want to worry about is drinking water that might put me on the toilet.
Montezuma's revenge.
Exactly.
And I'm sorry. I know that's a very racist thing to say. I know it is.
Why is that racist? That's widely accepted as a
thing. Is it a euphemism? Okay, for catching the.
That's what they call it.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't want to get.
That's the only uprising I want to worry about in Mexico.
Is what comes out when you. Right. And that's the only thing I want to worry about.
Right.
If I'm having to also factor in, like if he's saying that, like, well, every time you go, there's a small, tiny percentage chance that you might get targeted by cartels. That's a worry that I would have a tough time. That's why, we don't, when we vacation, and again, we haven't vacated. It's not like I'm a great test case for this because we have small children, which means we're not going on any type of long vacations.
For a long time, yeah. And when you do go, there'll be rides involved.
We're absolutely flying as little as possible with kids. Although they are getting to an age now where we're starting to plan some trips where they can get on a plane. But it's just, you don't want to be locked into it.
But you're not going to Puerto Vallarta.
I'm not going to Puerto Vallarta. No way.
And to your point, like maybe a few months down the road.
Yeah, talk to me in a year.
Down. Did you see the videos?
When we've had no major airports sheltering in place.
Right,
when you haven't had that in 2 months.
I want 3 digits on the day since we've had the shelter in place. Yes, at least 3 digits.
They should have a big sign outside of the airport in Mexico.
Yeah.
How many days?
It's been 3 days since we asked you to shelter in place.
Trace days.
I'll wait.
Yeah.
Have you seen the videos of the military helicopters flying over?
Horrifying.
These are beachfront.
Like being in Los Angeles. You see those. Honestly, in LA, when you see all the helicopters flying around LA, and you realize that those aren't news choppers, but those are LAPD.
Yeah.
That's like a way that they are policing down there, and you just go like, man, they got some problems.
Well, they do. You're right. But when you look at these people in these high-end luxury beachfront resorts, and they're all gringos with sunburns.
Sure.
And drinks in their hands and flip-flops and sunglasses, and there's a military helicopter going ahead as you look across the beautiful landscape beaches and black smoke from the occasional house or business fire,
Or when they lit up the Costco down the street.
Right.
The thing is, like, it's a very beautiful place. It's a very nice place. I get it.
Yeah,
it's
and I know
nice.
they got to ring the bell that it's all safe to come on down.
I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah.
But you have to be a particular type of risk-averse person to be the first person to say, hey, let's go.
I'm sure there are thrill seekers that think it's even better now.
Or like coupon
I may get
clippers.
to see some dust-ups.
Yeah, people who are just like, hey, you know what? We got some sweet deals right now.
Never been a better deal.
Yes.
Right now.
It's like in Leavenworth when the road washed out and then they were all, obviously they're not dealing with cartel problems in Leavenworth. Not that I know of. But they had the road wash out and then they said, hey, if you want to go to Leavenworth and not fight crowds.
It's worth the extra 2 hour drive.
Now's the time. You can drive around from the other side.
2 hours and 3 left turns and you're here.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that great? By the way, how quickly they got 2 open? A month ahead of schedule.
That's great.
That was. We mentioned it at the time.
It's the lifeblood of that. That area. Skykomish, that whole area.
Yeah, the ski industry, which still is hurting for snow, but to get that road open a month ahead of time,
just get some snow machines up there. Get some snow going.
Yeah, but to your question, it's maybe for some.
We'd both pause.
Yeah, no way.
I wouldn't do it.
After you, I say.
Exactly. After you. That would be my answer.
After you. After you.
Yeah, 100%. All right. Tonight we have the State of the Union.
And
President's State of the Union.
After you.
Said
Patty Murray.
Here's a question for you. Patty Murray's going to do. We invited her on the show, and she very politely declined. She said, "No, thank
busy
you."
day for her. She's got a alternate.
I don't think that was it, to be honest. I think she just. Well, there's two possibilities.
Busy day.
She might be busy preparing for this alternate State of the Union that she's giving at 3:15. She may have also just not wanted to have to answer questions on why she's doing it. That's very possible.
Sure.
I don't think there's a lot of people in what's her name? Patty Murray's life who are asking her like, well, why don't you just show up? And then, They already have a system built in. Like Spannerberger's doing the rebuttal afterward.
Yes.
So they already have a system built for this, and now it's becoming a trendy thing. You got Adam Schiff down in California. He's doing an alternate State of the Union.
Yeah, well, they're having one big event.
Well, he's doing an alternate one on the steps.
I think isn't that the same thing Murray's doing? Aren't they all doing the?
No, Murray's doing a.
Isn't Kid Rock going to play and whatever?
Yeah, this is like Kid Rock at the halftime.
It's very, very similar.
It's very much.
Yeah.
She's doing she's doing a live stream on YouTube, Facebook.
Okay,
So I think
she's scheduled to also speak at the Capitol steps State of the.
So she's doing two.
Maybe I'm wrong. I know.
You might be right. I very easily could
quite
be
a
wrong.
few Democratic members of Congress are going to skip the State of the Union. I know a lot of the Democrats.
Pramila Jayapal.
And the Senator Cantwell is going to be in attendance. They're bringing as their designated guests various members of the immigrant community.
Sure.
A lot of Democrats are bringing Epstein survivors as a statement piece, if you will, as a prop.
Mm-hmm.
Call it what it is. To the State of the Union. That's how they're exercising their First Amendment free speech rights to use this opportunity.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna get attention. You get media coverage. That's what the platform's used for.
Interesting.
Is to get media coverage. I mean, we talked about the U.S. hockey team is going to be there as the guest of the president.
U.S. hockey team.
They
will be
agreed
there.
to come in. The U.S. women's team declined. Initially, they said it was a scheduling situation.
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, I saw many headlines saying that given the president's off-the-hand joke that he made during his live congratulatory call to the men in the locker room after their gold medal win, the president made a comment about, now I'm going to have to invite the women too. If I don't, they'll probably impeach me. I paraphrase a little bit, but that was the joke he made, received with laughter amongst the young men in the locker room. Well, now the women's team is saying that is one of the reasons that they're declining to go because they felt it was disrespectful.
I heard it was just scheduling. They said they were honored to receive the invitation.
Initially, that was a public statement, and I've seen numerous reports today saying that many people are unhappy with the president's joke, his off-the-cuff remarks.
We should play it here. Let's play and see what it sounded like. Here you go.
Unbelievable, and you were all unbelievable, and that team is pretty good you played. I don't know if it's going to begin anytime soon, right? And, I tell you what, I just told my people 2 minutes ago, I didn't know they'd be calling. I said, we're giving the State of the Union speech on Tuesday night. I could send a military plane or something, but if you would like to, it's the coolest night, it's the biggest.
We're in.
Yes.
Can you pick us up in Miami on Tuesday morning?
Yeah, Tuesday morning. Close the northern border. We'll get cash and we'll get the military to get you guys over.
Let's go.
Boys are going to the State of the Union. The nice thing about being president is I can tell you, you don't have to worry about the weather or landing.
Because we can change the weather.
That's not why.
We don't care if it's snowing, if it's the worst blizzard. We sailing through that sucker just like you did in the ice cream.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We'll do it at the White House anytime. What would really be cool, and we'll do the White House the next day, we'll just have some fun. We have medals for you guys. And we have to, I must tell you, we're going to have to bring the women's team. You do know that.
Absolutely. I don't understand we're going to bring the women's team. Oh, okay.
Would be impeached, okay?
If I don't, we'd be impeached.
But anyway, if you...
They sounded excited about it. The guy sounded excited.
They weren't the problem. It was that a lot of people feel that is in very poor taste. Even to make a joke about that. The women's team...
I don't understand the joke. What's the joke?
Well, if I don't bring them, I'll probably be impeached if I don't invite the women, and they all laughed about it. And there's been a lot of pushback with the sentiment and the off-the-cuff remarks that the president made without reverence to the accomplishment of the women athletes who are much higher, much more decorated than the men. The women's team have never missed a medal in the was like 8 different Olympics that the women's hockey has been allowed to compete in.
Sure, they're very good
and incredibly accomplished.
Yeah.
Anywho,
I think they're both very accomplished.
I would agree completely.
Yeah,
you wouldn't. The joke that
I feel like people are trying to make it a political thing. That doesn't seem very political to me. But that's fine. Everything that Trump does, I'm not sitting here defending him all the time, but I just feel like anything he does, somebody's going to take a shot at it and say like, he's trying to.
No, that's fair. And like
divide people and separate
there's
people.
quite a few people. Yesterday we were talking about Cash Patel being there on the government's dime.
Yeah, which you said you didn't have a problem with. I don't have a problem with.
What I don't have a problem with it because all politicians do it, and if you can figure out a way to pick up a hockey game on your spare time, you get a couple meetings.
I applaud that Gretchen Whitmer did it yesterday, or with the women's team. I applaud that Kash Patel figured out a way to get there. I mean, like if I was a government official and I had business in the country and the Team USA was playing,
you'd schedule when you could see a game.
I'd also go. I mean, like if I'm not a liar, I'd probably try to do the same thing.
I admitted to that yesterday. What people have a problem with, I think, is the optics of this. That this administration, who does so many things that, well, I can see what I mean. But there's a lot of those moments. The president could have just said, hey, you know what? The women had also had a great run. We'll have them there, too. An incredible accomplishment by our ladies, blah, blah, blah. And left it at that.
It feels I understand what you're saying. It feels nitpicky to me, but whatever. That's fine.
No, I hear you. But it's always those things. With Kash Patel, I'm with him. Go to the Olympics. You got valid reasons to be there. Talk about international security.
Sure.
World Cup's coming. But when the guy flies his girlfriend around and he takes a government jet to go watch her play a concert somewhere, and there's been numerous cases of.
Is he the first government official to do that?
No, of course not. Of course not.
It's just
that
to me feels
deaf,
like
they read the room. Sometimes there's moments where let's take a step back and just have a little bit more decorum. These guys never seem to take that opportunity.
Which
to
guys?
Step up. This administration.
Okay.
Whether Kristi Noem wants a $70 million private jet with a double queen bed.
So what do you think about Patty Murray skipping?
I think it's a fine use of her political platform to make a statement that she disagrees with this administration. She disagrees with. Well, that's fine. I completely respect that.
Literally her job to be there.
Yeah. I'd rather she skipped it than go there and yell rude things from the floor.
Yeah, she doesn't need to interrupt it.
Right.
She can just be there in
we've
person.
seen that from both sides over the years. There have been Democrats and Republicans who have yelled just disrespectful things from the audience. I'd rather they skip it if they're going to be
I think she's missing an opportunity. She should have come on this show and defended why she's not doing her job. But
she can come tomorrow.
She's
and
welcome
the invitation
to come tomorrow.
Always open for her.
Yeah, ish. I don't know. Not always. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rurecka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Albert Lee Appliance Clearance Center, opening soon in Kent, on the corner of 212th and West Valley Highway.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The first few steps that I took in the morning were pretty painful.
This is Carlos.
I mean, I had been told by multiple orthopedic surgeons that there was no alternative for me.
That wasn't what he wanted to hear. You see, Carlos is an active guy.
I played basketball, and for 3 to 4 days after, my knees would just be so swollen. And now I can play basketball, and there is no swelling. There is no pain in the knees.
No swelling, no pain, because Carlos went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for stem cell therapy.
I'm just happy to be able to be out there. And then knowing that tomorrow I am not going to suffer for this.
What do you say to your friends and family who are in pain?
I say, I had horrible knee pain and stem cells really worked for me. You might want to go to Dr. Wagner, just get a consultation before you have surgery.
Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon, I'm Aaron Granillo. 5 people are dead in the town of Purdy after an apparent domestic dispute and stabbing. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch reports the suspect is among the dead.
This all started when dispatchers got a call for a protection order violation. Then came another 911 call for someone being stabbed. Pierce County deputies arrived, and in whatever followed, deputies shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma PD's Shelby Boyd with the sequence of the morning's events.
The initial call came out at 8:41 this morning, stating that there was a violation of an order. At 9:30, additional information came in about stabbing taking place. And at 9:33 is when shots fired was called out by the deputy.
The Pierce County Force Investigation Team is now on scene in Purdy. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
President Trump is set to deliver his first State of the Union address of his second term tonight. CBS's Robert Costa has a preview.
What I'm really watching is foreign policy. All of my sources around President Trump say some kind of action is potentially in the offing. I think a lot of it depends on the intelligence and the situation on the ground, but foreign policy will probably be top of mind.
Now, several Democratic lawmakers they plan to boycott the speech. They include Washington U.S. Senator Patty Murray and representatives from Jayapal and Adam Smith. And turning now to the closing bell reports, consumer confidence levels improved this month, overcoming concerns over inflation and a weakening job market. CBS's Jason Brooks has more.
The Conference Board's confidence reading improved to 91.2 in February from 89 the previous month, with a solid improvement in the expectations index for the next 6 months, overcoming a weaker reading in the present situation index. Big ticket purchasing plans over the next 6 months increased from the previous month, with used cars, furniture, TVs, and smartphones the most popular items.
Coming soon to the heart of Capitol Hill. McDonald's could soon be setting up shop on the corner of Broadway and Olive. The Seattle Times reports a permit application was just filed to convert the former Rite Aid into the fast food joints. Neither McDonald's nor the building's owner is commenting. The new Mickey D's will have a direct competitor nearby. Dick's Drive-In is located just down the street. At the close today on Wall Street, the Dow up 370, NASDAQ gained 236, S&P 500 up 52 points. And now to the real-time traffic desk. Here's Nate Connors.
Thank you, Aaron. It's a good time to hit the road. Wide open roadways right now here in Seattle. North 5, just a minor backup forming at the I-90 interchange. And then again, begin approaching the Ship Canal work zone. 12 minutes to clear downtown. 7 of those are at that Ship Canal backup. South 405 starting to fill in between Newcastle and Renton. Nothing heavy at all. Bellevue to Renton, less than 15 minutes. A reminder, the Agate Pass Bridge has bridge work all this week, so drivers are alternating at the bridge. Right now, there isn't any backup heading eastbound. Westbound 305 drivers, you're sitting in about a mile and a half backup. This work is daily through Friday between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. And in Tacoma, westbound 16 to Jackson Avenue, a collision is partially blocking that on-ramp. Here's some drive times real quick for you. Everett to Arlington, less than 15 minutes. Seattle to Tacoma, a half hour. Issaquah to Seattle, 15 minutes. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
We've got some sunshine in the North Sound. Other than that, mostly cloudy and some rain farther south. Highs today in the mid to upper 40s. Right now, 45 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. We were talking a little bit earlier. We didn't have a chance to fully get into it, so we want to dedicate this segment to an update in the search, the continued search for Nancy Guthrie, which has now gone on for 3 weeks. And it would seem that despite the doorbell camera footage that they released and those pictures and what was a $100,000 reward, it's now been up to $1 million by Savannah Guthrie. It doesn't seem like they have any people that they suspect. I mean, they're saying that they have no suspects at this point.
Well, they are. Did you see the story that the man on that video, that doorbell video camera,
the 2 different days,
had been there numerous times before.
Yeah, I think one of the videos one of the pictures released, they said was the day before, he was scouting out the location. There's all these questions about whether or not it was a robbery gone wrong, and then something happened inside. Maybe they encountered her because they were breaking into her house, and they didn't want to get caught, so they did something horrible and then had to get rid of the evidence? Or was it a targeted abduction? They don't have answers to those questions right now, which is what's so crazy about this whole thing, that after 3 weeks, they still wouldn't know. This was Savannah Guthrie. She posted this on Instagram about the new reward that they are offering for any information related to her mom's disappearance that leads to, recovery of her mom. Could be alive or not, but $1 million.
We are offering a family reward of up to $1 million for any information that leads us to her recovery. All of the information about this reward and the details is in the caption below. You can call the 1-800-TIP line. You can be anonymous if you want.
You can hear there in her voice, she sounds, I cannot even imagine what this family has gone through for these 3 weeks. I mean, you would be a shell of yourself. You're just in, you're in limbo, you're in hell.
Unimaginable anguish and grief and surrender to the thought that, like she's saying now, the latest is, we know that's unlikely that she's going to come home.
Still, they have to hold on to some sliver of hope that maybe there's some miracle and she comes home alive. But statistically, she wouldn't. And it seems like they're acknowledging that. Pretty
now that the reward has been up to $1 million, here comes the flood of tips.
Yeah,
which was initially was reported. We talked about it about an hour ago
by NBC.
The Guthrie family wanted to make it $1 million reward from day one. They were advised against it from the Pima County Sheriff, saying it would lead to an avalanche, a flood of tips that we couldn't handle, couldn't run down. But now it's like, let's just all comers, anything you can tell us.
Here's an interesting update in this. So have you ever heard of the United Cajun Navy?
I had not until the story you brought
I had seen these guys before.
In what capacity?
They do search and rescue. They do missing persons cases, long.
Are these the guys who look like on cars underwater? Those guys?
They do stuff like that.
Okay,
yeah.
Maybe I have familiar with these guys.
And so they will go and they will, if there's a missing persons case that's not. What's interesting about the Nancy Guthrie thing is it's getting so much national attention that you really didn't need somebody like the United Cajun Navy to step in because they're getting all of this federal support. They're getting all this local support because it's such a famous person story.
Right.
But because they're not releasing new information anymore. He's not doing the sheriff in Pima County. He's not doing press conferences anymore. They're releasing very little information, likely because they're not getting a whole lot of new information.
Right.
And I know he's still sitting down for some interviews, like one-on-one stuff, but it's definitely not the daily briefing
the national
that we were
spotlight
seeing.
has turned elsewhere. You said something last week and you just like casually hit from your heart that it was really heartbreaking that America's attention span is so short that it seems like the nation has moved on.
Did I say that? That's so smart.
From this family's grief and this anguish that they're going through on a daily basis, and it's heartbreaking.
You're battling so many things. You're battling, the daily news cycle of, politics and all the ridiculous stuff that people spend so much time caring about and fretting about. You also have the Olympics. So you have all these stories that are fighting for your attention. So I can understand where this case, which doesn't seem to be moving forward in any meaningful way, that's frustrating and people lose interest. And so now the window, I think, is open for these guys to come in.
Others, right?
And others.
Yeah.
This is Josh Gill. He is the incident commander for the United Cajun Navy. And as I understand, I looked these guys up for some more specifics on what they are. They have been involved in volunteering rapid mobilization in Houston during Hurricane Harvey in 2017. They rescued thousands of people stranded from flooded homes using personal boats. So these guys go out.
That's where I know.
I think that's where we probably saw them.
Yes.
Cold weather rescue.
Right.
They rescued a newlywed couple and their dog who were trapped in freezing, dangerous conditions that official agencies could not reach. These guys went out and figured out a way to get to them. In 22, they rescued numerous people from rooftops and provided supplies during Hurricane Ian. It just sounds like these are guys who have abilities, but maybe they're not technically working for law enforcement.
Right. They're an independent volunteer operation that has the resources and the experience to help in moments like this, and they're doing so.
Outdoorsmen, boaters, outdoors people. So this was Josh Gill. He's with the United Cajun Navy. He was talking about what they're now in Pima County, and they're on the case and what they hope to accomplish.
How many people are joining you in this search in the next day or two?
So I've got a litany of resources that are available to me. Again, I'm here to coordinate through the local law enforcement as well as other volunteers to see exactly what we can provide and what resources they need. I'm going to make the offer to them for additional resources, and we'll see.
What are you going to start with right away?
Go and try and talk to the sheriff's officer right there. Introduce myself, say, I'm with the United Cajun Navy and we're here to assist. Here's the resources we have. Can you provide me with a further point of contact? We're going to coordinate and talk to the sheriff's department as well as the people who are currently searching, see if we can provide additional resources.
Plan to do like search around the neighborhoods or?
Whatever we can coordinate with, and again, assimilate in with local law enforcement and the the searchers that are going to research.
Gotcha. How many?
We've got a lot of available resources.
Do you think that these guys will be a help on the ground? I kind of like the idea that they're there. I don't really see a harm in it. What do you think?
It's funny because when my first blush thinking about this, my first reaction was, this is a very expertly handled, I hope, investigation from the federal and local perspectives. These are people with years of psychological training, experiential training.
They're pros.
They're the best of the best of the best, we hope, right?
You hope.
Does the United Cajun Navy, and I don't mean any disparaging at all, but does some amateur guys coming in, does that muck up a crime scene? Does it get in the way? Does it alert a potential suspect? This guy knocking on their door, these guys, spooking around their neighborhood, does that undermine some of the other strategical moves being made by the federal and local law enforcements in pursuit of finding resolution and recovering of this woman?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I'm not that expert level of intricacy to how these investigations unfold and move forward.
I feel like at this point, I know I have seen stories at the Pima County Sheriff's Office or Office of the Sheriff or whatever their designation is. I know that there have been stories, and then there's also been like counter stories to try to say that it's not the case, but there have been stories that there has been kind of an uneasy tension between them and federal authorities.
Yeah.
Federal authorities wanting some more input and to be running it, and Pima County Sheriff saying, well, no, this is my case. I'm going to be running this thing. I don't know how that might be slowing things down. there was that incident where they sent the DNA to the Florida lab instead of to Quantico.
Right.
Where through the FBI, they made that decision. And I'm wondering, at this point, what harm could it do to have more people on the ground helping? Because you're talking 3 weeks now.
Yeah, I think I'm with you on the same. I'm of the same mind.
Yeah.
Given the time frame that this family has dealt with.
If this was day one and they stepped in, they said, "Hey, the United Cajun Navy's here.
Muddy boots are coming."
I'd be right with you. I'd be like, "Hey, chill out for a second.
Yeah.
Let the authorities handle it for a minute." But then it does shift into, well, if they don't seem to have any leads, and after 3 weeks, if the best of the best, they have no leads or nothing, then at some point, how many cases have we seen where you have internet sleuths who solve a missing case?
You crowdsource this to the general population.
Like I saw a story once where a person went missing. They were gone for years. And they didn't know what happened to them. And they thought they were just off in the wind. They ran away. Somebody went onto Google Maps and went 1 block away, and they found that the car had drifted into out down an embankment and into the water. And they went and they sent that information.
Yeah.
And the car was under like 5 feet of water for years.
Right.
And the person was in the car, and they had perished.
Sure.
Because they just looked at a Google map.
Right, but more eyeballs came to a
why
resolution. Why not? Yeah, I think I'm with you.
I feel like it can't hurt at this point.
Yeah.
All right, be interesting to see what happens. We have a lot more coming up. Stick around. I got to play this audio next. This is like the sweetest audio.
Oh, okay, good.
Lift your spirits. You will feel wonderful. Stick around. We'll be right back.
You never know what's in store each morning once you hit the road.
We've got a major traffic alert in effect right now.
While you're getting ready every morning, make us part of your routine.
What morning, huh?
Yeah. Got off to an early start.
Just tell your smart speaker to play KIRO News Radio or stream us on the app.
Both directions of I-5 are closed.
We'll help you get where you're going faster.
Maybe bail at 512.
KIRO News Radio. We're on your smart speaker, the app, and 97.3 FM.
My perfect day has sand, salt water, and friends. But my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis can take me out of the moment. Now I'm all in with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi. Risankizumab Riza, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, most people saw 90% clearer skin, and many were even 100% plaque-free at 4 months. Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses.
Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines.
Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin. And that means everything. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis. Visit Skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKYRIZI to learn more.
If you've been arrested for DUI, you need a hero. We're giving free consultations via phone and Zoom. Go to DUIHeroes.com or call 1-800-DUI-HERO.
We're human and we make mistakes. If you need someone by your side during a challenging time, DUI Heroes is there for you 24/7. They're excellent at what they do. DUI Heroes averages 90% of all DUI offenses they take on being reduced or completely dismissed. Your DUI defense specialist, DUIHeroes.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
With Choke Points, we try to answer listeners' questions. It can be as simple as a neighborhood stop sign, or it can be as big as the budget for transportation. I don't care. I'll find the answer for you. It's really easy to get a hold of me at mynorthwest.com. We have a direct link there that gets right to me. You can also do it in the app. You can hit me up on the text line.
Choke Points, presented by Carter Subaru. Tuesdays and Thursdays on KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Crooked teeth may embarrass kids whose families can't afford braces, and trying to fix their teeth themselves can make things worse. Luckily, there's Donated Orthodontic Services, a program from the American Association of Orthodontists. For children and teens who qualify and are matched with a volunteer orthodontist, treatment can be life-changing and help them smile with confidence. Learn more at aaoinfo.org.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
Thank you, Dr. Wagner. I have a really bad left hip. In fact, this other doctor's like, well, you're going to have to get a hip replacement. I was like, oh, my God. He goes, how old are you? I told him, well, you're going to have to wait a couple of years because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to both go to heaven together. I was like, well, in the meantime, well, try stretching, aspirin. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm in pain. I can't sleep. I could barely walk. I'd get off a plane and I'm like struggling to even make it down the ramp. I go to see Dr. Wagner. He explains to me how the stem cell procedure works. It's 90 minutes, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. So rather than surgery, make an appointment to see Dr. Wagner. It could be the game changer for you, like it's been for a whole bunch of other people as well. So whether it's your hip or your wrist or your shoulder, your knee, check out Dr. Mark Wagner. I'm telling you right now, stem cell procedure could be the answer for you, as it's been for me. You want to find out more? drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
Welcome back to the show. I saw this video that was floating around on X, and I bookmarked it to play for you, Spike, because I thought you would enjoy this. I'm very happy whenever algorithms send me good stuff.
Boy, isn't that the truth?
Instead of just bad stuff,
the usual
sad things.
doom scrolling I'm doing on a regular basis.
Yeah, 100%. And this was one of those stories that I saw where you're watching it and you just go, oh my gosh, how sweet and life-affirming, and also just wonderful of these sweet little kids. And basically what happened, what we have here, and I'll play the audio for you in just a second, but there is a kid at an elementary school. I can't really tell his age from the video, but he looks like he's probably, somewhere between 7 and 10.
Well, this young man, is he Down syndrome?
I believe he does have, I think he has Down syndrome.
Okay,
Again,
so
it doesn't say specifically.
No,
in the
it
video,
doesn't.
And it's from a little bit of a distance.
It's hard to tell if the young man is anywhere from 6 to 10.
Yeah.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
But it's an elementary school. It's a sporting event, right? Because there's...
It looks like some sort of an assembly.
Pep rally assembly.
Something.
Yeah. Half the gym is wearing red. The other side of the gym's all wearing blue.
So he is...
It's not a political rally, though. Doesn't
seem like it.
No.
Although I wouldn't put it past schools these days. But no, it doesn't seem like it. But what's very sweet, and I've seen this a few times now, this kid, he's standing there at center court and looks like some teacher. I don't know, it's a gym teacher.
Yeah, Mr. Jones, the gym teacher.
Mr. Jones.
He's not climbing a rope anytime in class, but he's a good-looking guy.
And you're a musician, so you know what kind of drum is this that the kid is standing in front of?
That's a floor tom.
Okay.
It's a big,
It's a big.
Yeah, it's about
something you might see
18 inches tall, 24 inches across. Yeah.
Okay, you're not playing in a band with this drum.
No, this is part of a drummer's kit. They'll have a couple toms.
Okay, gotcha.
A couple snares above those, a bass in the center.
So he's at center court, and he's got all of his classmates who are, again, all these elementary school kids who are all sitting there. And
got a mallet in his hand,
And he's got a big mallet in his hand. Yeah. And there's
teacher's helping him.
Teacher's helping him, and there's a song that they're going to play. And what he has to do, and this gives him an opportunity to shine. He's probably not going to hit the game-winning 3, but he is going to be able to do this, and this is so cool that they did this. You know the song "I Will Always Love You," the famous song from The Bodyguard?
Sure, yeah.
By Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
So there's a famous part of that song where the song drops off, and then it hits
yes,
again.
I know, and that's when she looks up at the camera and they pan back, and it's magic,
magic. And so what the kid's going to try to do is he's going to try to hit it at the exact moment and send it into the second part of that song.
Okay.
And so listen to this. The school is cheering him on, and that's how excited they get when he does it. Listen to this. Is it TJ?
Steven.
Steven.
Teacher's cueing him.
He's holding the mallet.
Oh, that is beautiful.
That's so sweet.
And the entire gymnasium erupts.
Everybody's up
Kids
on their
on
feet.
both sides. Kids. Oh, that's beautiful.
He looks like he has just hit the game-winning shot.
Top of the world.
And he's going to have that moment for the rest of his life. And also those kids, what's so sweet about that is those kids are genuinely excited for him.
Sure.
And they've taken a tiny little thing and they've blown it up. And not only is he going to remember that moment for the rest of his life, I imagine most of those kids are going to remember
I'm going to remember
moment.
that moment for the rest of my life.
Who came up with that? What a genius idea.
That really is so sweet.
So sweet. I
And,
hope that.
and this, what's this? Who's this? Where'd you find this?
These are the things that pop up. I get a lot of stuff like this.
Where was channels promoting stuff like this? Good on you, buddy.
Isn't that nice?
Good on you.
Just makes you feel good about life. We should. What other songs could you do that to? I mean, that's really like it is the perfect song.
It's got a moment. Yeah. There's. Let me think about it a little bit. It's tough to. Can I do that? Can they?
We should time you out and see if you're better than Steven.
Can they let adults do that?
Because you've
played.
You're a musician. You should be better than Steven.
I'm not.
He's very good.
I did hit the gong. We used to do a. Love Rain or Me at the end of this big gong. I used to be able to.
And you'd be the guy.
At the big finale, yeah.
Yeah.
Such a great feeling.
Well,
I don't feel as good as that young man.
He got
felt.
that feeling. And it's
boy.
well deserved. It's pretty cool.
Good
All
on him.
right. Good for that school for doing that too. That's really neat. All right. We have a lot more coming up. Next hour, we have a lot to discuss, and so we will. You're not going to want to miss any of that.
Shall we revisit the earlier? We talked a little bit about the millionaire's tax.
We got the millionaire's tax a little
we can
bit.
revisit that for some of the audience who wasn't available.
We got some audio on that. We have some people who are for and against it. We also have. This was really interesting. CNN's Fareed Zakaria. Do you know who that guy? You know
Sure.
who he is?
Yeah.
He has some thoughts on what makes a city so expensive, like gas prices. Like I saw a thing earlier today, how much we're paying for gas, and it just kind of blew my mind. How much taxes, and not just the CCA, but like what's the tax portion of the gallon of gas that you're paying?
Okay.
So we'll talk about that coming up next. Those things all add up to your experience in a state.
Okay.
And we'll apply it to Washington State. We'll see how we're doing and where we're ranked. Stick around. We'll be right back.
KIRO News Radio, where you turn for the news you depend on.
Two competing budget proposals. Senators want to be aggressive, they say.
Traffic.
We have a stall on westbound 16.
Conversation.
If they pass this thing and Governor Ferguson signs it into law, I think there's going to be a mass political sea change in Washington State.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They're bringing it home again.
Broadcasting live from the KIRO News Radio YouTube channel. KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up on calls with members and doctors' offices when needed. We show up with access to convenient care options and coverage that fits everyday life. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Chris Domine is a husband and a father. Chris is an athlete. Chris is even an Iron Man. But 10 years ago, Chris was facing a very different story because his kidneys were failing.
Basically, the doctor said, if you don't get a kidney transplant and if you don't do dialysis, you are going to die.
Fortunately, Chris received a second chance at life, made possible by an organ donor.
You know, your well-being changes from loss of hope to better times ahead.
More than 100 million people in America are registered organ, eye, and tissue donors. People of every age and ethnicity, because they believe it's the right thing to do. Imagine what you can make possible by leaving behind the gift of life. Learn more and sign up as an organ, eye, and tissue donor. Go to organdonor.gov. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Health Resources and Services Administration.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. And now, during our President's Day sale, take 50% off our limited edition bed, plus an extra $100 off all mattresses. And Saturday. Only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
Need life insurance but have diabetes, high blood pressure, or on anxiety meds? If you're a 50-year-old male, even porky, or with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of life insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. For affordable term life insurance, call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-777-1225. 800-777-1225 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. 800-777-1225.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
We're the home of your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
KIRO FM and HD1 Tacoma, Seattle.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by JTV.com.
I'm Jennifer Kuiper. President Trump delivers his State of the Union address tonight. CBS's Linda Kenyon.
The president is expected to focus on domestic issues like the economy, even as tensions grow with Iran and the war continues in Ukraine. The State of the Union address follows the Supreme Court's recent ruling invalidating most of Trump's tariffs. Many of the justices who ruled against the tariffs are expected to attend the president's speech. Many Democrats say they will not, while others may attend but are expected to demonstrate their opposition to Trump's policies, including immigration. Others will call attention to the Epstein files. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
Dozens of Democrats say they are boycotting President Trump's State of the Union address. Some will instead attend counter-programming on the National Mall, dubbed the People's State of the Union. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
The state of our union under the presidency of Donald Trump is a complete and total disaster.
In a network-exclusive interview, Speaker Mike Johnson has told CBS Evening News anchor Tony DeCopel,
"We play for one team. We're all for America." I think it's detestable that the members would boycott the speech. We've never done that. It doesn't matter if there's a Democrat president. You go and respect the office. You respect the decorum.
In Washington state, the Pierce County Sheriff's Office says several people are dead after a sheriff's deputy responded to reports that a man was stabbing people outside a home near Tacoma, Washington yesterday, according to a sheriff's spokesperson.
3 were pronounced deceased on scene, all stabbed, and then 1 was transported to a local hospital, later succumbed to their injuries, also stabbed.
Authorities say the first deputy arrived within about 3 minutes, and shots were fired, and the suspect was shot and killed. Savannah Guthrie says in an online video that her family needs to know what happened to her mother, who has been missing since February 1st, and are offering a reward up to $1 million.
We also know that she may be lost. She may already be gone. She may have already gone home to the Lord that she loves.
Authorities say Nancy Guthrie was taken against her will from her Tucson area home over 3 weeks ago. On the East Coast, a lot of shoveling from Maryland to Maine after a deadly storm drops anywhere from 1 to 3 feet of snow in portions of New Jersey, New York, and Rhode Island. At least 2 people have died in Maryland. Warner Brothers Discovery says a new $31 a share offer from Paramount Skydance, owner of CBS News, is expected to lead to a better deal than its existing agreement with Netflix, kicking off another potential bidding battle for the famed Hollywood studio. Stocks closed up on Wall Street today. The Dow jumped 300.
Looking for spring jewelry looks? Find them at Jewelry Television. New customers get $20 off purchases of $99 or more at jtv.com.
Coming up, the latest on a mass stabbing near Purdy. That's after Nate Connors at the real-time traffic desk.
All right, Aaron, this one brought to us by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. It's the calm before the afternoon commute starts building here in the next half hour or so. North 5 in Seattle slows at the I-90 interchange. And then again, approaching the Ship Canal Bridge. Altogether, 12 minutes of clear downtown. 7 of those minutes are in the Ship Canal backup. And now westbound 520 getting thick there on the Portage Bay Viaduct over to I-5. South 5, you're wide open. In fact, Linwood to Seattle, just a 15-minute commute. South 405 slows just a little through Factoria, otherwise looking good. North 405, we're filling in a little between Bothell and Canyon Park. In Everett, that Boeing afternoon shift is underway, and that means bumper-to-bumper traffic eastbound on 526 from the factory over to I-5. And out in Purdy, if you're traveling on State Route 305 just up the hill from the Purdy Spit, expect delays near Goldman Drive. That is near the scene of our active investigation. It's home show season. Lake Washington Windows and Doors is giving you 20% off plus 12 months, same as cash financing. Visit them at the home shows or lakewashingtonwindows.com. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. 5 people are dead after a stabbing on the Key Peninsula. Pierce County deputies say the 32-year-old suspect attacked 4 people outside a home near Purdy, was shot and killed by a responding deputy.
Shots fired, sub down, 3 other victims. Fire priority.
It started just before 9 this morning when someone reported the suspect was violating a no-contact order. Deputies say they were set to deliver that order when multiple 911 calls came in about a stabbing. The Regional Force Investigation Team is now handling the case. Man accused of starting a fire, nearly causing an explosion inside a Harborview Medical Center trauma room, faced a judge today. The attorney for 29-year-old Stephen Sorrow spoke on his behalf.
We do waive a formal reading of the charges and enter pleas of not guilty at this time.
Prosecutors charged him with arson, malicious mischief, and 4 counts of assault. Judge set his bail at $250,000 and ordered he to stay away from Harborview. Seattle police respond to gunfire inside a liquor store yesterday. Details from KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay.
Seattle police arrested a half-naked man after they say he opened liquor bottles and started drinking from them without paying. Then they say he started taking off his clothes, his shirt, his shoes, his pants. Officers rushed to the store along Rainier Avenue South around 5 p.m. Monday. The 49-year-old man was still in the store. No one got hurt, although a bullet narrowly missed the clerk. Police recovered the gun and booked the man for felony assault. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Linwood is pulling the plug on its contract with an automated license plate reader company. Details from KIRO News Radio's Jillian Raftery.
The city council voted 7-0 Monday to cancel its agreement with Flock Safety. The Everett Herald reports Linwood is one of the first cities in the state to do so. The move comes after community members raised privacy concerns late last year. A University of Washington report found out-of-state agencies accessed Linwood's license plate network, apparently for immigration enforcement. The Herald found the same kind of searches happening in other networks across Snohomish County. Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Now to your weather update. Some sunshine in the North Sound, a little bit of rain for the South Sound, and clouds in between. Right now, looking at 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour left to go. Lots of stuff to chat about. Everybody is abuzz talking about the millionaire's tax. They had the Senate Ways and Means Committee, or the House Ways and Means Committee? The Ways and Means Committee.
Yeah, the House got it back.
House has it back. Senate had
took their hacks at it.
And they said, check this out, House. See what you think about this. And the House said, we like money. We'll take your money. So we'll have some audio for you on that in just a moment, which we can play, which should be just super interesting, we hope, for you. And then also, in just a couple minutes, I saw this number. I was going to run this by you, Spike, but I have a number I'm going to throw at you, and how much money that we're paying in taxes on a gallon of gas.
Okay.
And it's enough to make you spit if you're a person who spits.
You know me.
You are a
I'm a
person who
spitter.
spits. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's start with the millionaire stuff because that's what everybody seems to be chatting about. This was, let's see here. This is Jamie Peterson who is proposing this tax. This is kind of his baby.
And this is his official introduction of the bill to the floor this morning. Is that what we're going to play?
Well, we played that clip already of him introducing it
right.
to the committee, saying like, "Hey, I've already done the yeoman's heavy work of coming up with all these tax benefits like cheaper deodorant. Now I'm leaving it to you guys to make it appealing to the general public.
Let's put some lipstick on this pig and
slap some cheaper lipstick on this pig. Slap some deodorant. Let's put some deodorant on this pig.
Take it out to the fair, see if we can't win a ribbon. Okay? All right. Let's do the Puyallup with this thing.
By the end of the show, somebody will use AI to show Jamie Peterson walking around with a lipstick pig. Somebody send that to us, please, in the text line. At the Muckleshoot Casino Resort text line, 888-973-5476. And the name of that pig is going to be the income tax. Please, somebody send us that.
Millie is her name.
Millie. Oh, my gosh. That's perfect.
Right?
All right. Well,
Millie,
you watch.
Millie from Slippery Slope Farms.
A beautiful pig with some lipstick on. Actually, no, it would have to be an ugly pig. Just a pig.
Oh, yeah, just
doesn't have to be an attractive pig.
Pigs are brilliant animals. A much maligned critter.
And they're delicious.
And they're delicious.
That's what I love most about pigs, is how yummy they are. All right, this is Jamie Peterson. One of the things that people are talking about is if you pass a millionaire's tax, what are millionaires going to do, right? Because they're the ones who are going to have to bear the burden. Mm-hmm. What are millionaires going to do for now? Eventually, it'll come to all of us. But where are millionaires going to? It's on the fear that millionaires will leave over this tax. Here's what Peterson has to say about this. And as you listen to this, this is a challenge. I saw this online, and I think this would be a funny comparison.
It's like a drinking game challenge?
Not a drinking challenge.
Good,
I would never suggest that.
Good.
Does he have a celebrity doppelganger? I'm going to play you this Jamie Peterson clip.
Okay.
And then I'm going to play you another clip if I have it. I hope I do. And if not, I'll ask Laura to find it. I'm going to play you another clip, but see if you can see who Jamie Peterson sounds like.
Okay.
With the millionaire's tax, by contrast, the top marginal rate, 9.9%, that is not out of line with a large number of the 41 other states that have some form of a personal income tax. I'll say in addition that you have to have quite a bit of money before you're even doing better in Idaho than you would do in Washington. You know, if you think about with the $1 million deduction on which there's a 0% rate, you have to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1.9 million of income per year or more before you would do better in Washington than with Idaho's flat 4.4% rate. I don't think that there's going to be any significant change in taxpayer location as a result of the passage of the tax.
With the Association of Washington Businesses survey, which they made a big splash about, that, you know, all these business leaders were looking to leave, so that they were looking to move to Idaho, Montana, Wyoming, or Arizona. Right? Well, unless they pick Wyoming, they would be paying an income tax in those other states. Right? We are an outlier in not having one.
That's Joe Fitzgibbon, who represents West Seattle. We actually had, in addition to Peterson there, we actually had Peterson on the show. We asked him that very question.
Sure,
he scoffed at it. I mean, almost an audible scoff. He went, scoff. Who would move to a beautiful place like Wyoming?
Right.
Who would ever want to do that? Have you been there, he says. I mean,
cow puncher, he asked.
I'm obviously paraphrasing.
So who does he
say
sound like? I couldn't.
I'm going to play one more half second of his clip here while Laura gets the clip. Listen to this.
With the millionaire's tax, by contrast, the top marginal rate, 9.9%, that is not out of line with a large number of the 41 other states that have some form of a personal income tax. I'll say in addition that you have to have quite a bit of money before you're even doing.
Okay, so that's his voice. Somebody pointed this out live.
Can I guess?
Yeah.
You know, the late Robert Carradine from Revenge of the Nerds. He sounds a little bit like.
He just
passed away today.
Oh,
yeah.
that's very sad.
Yeah.
Are you calling Peterson a nerd? How dare you?
A little bit.
No, that's not the voice.
Okay.
Although.
Maybe a little Ferris Bueller?
Not a Ferris Bueller. No, Ferris far too cool.
That's
far too cool. No, it's too complimentary.
And smarter.
Well, and he got the day off of school.
Right.
Yeah, I wish Peterson would take a day off. Here's who I saw online.
I deserve good things. I am entitled to my share of happiness. I refuse to beat myself up. I am an attractive person. I am fun to be with.
Daily Affirmation with Stuart Smiley.
Oh, thank you, Laura, for grabbing that so fast. I felt bad for her. I ran over like, please grab Stuart Smiley.
Taxes are fun. Taxes are good. Gosh darn it, people like them.
Gosh darn it, people like him. And because she's so young, she's like, who's Stuart Smiley? I'm like, oh.
I'm sorry.
You mean like the mouse?
No, that's Stuart Little.
Little.
Oh my gosh, that would have been so funny. Stuart Little. But no, he does kind of have a Stuart Smiley look.
Yeah,
they got the blonde hair,
yeah,
the kind of
really
that, that's haircut. But anyway, he's scoffing at the idea that people would leave the state. It's ironic though, because we did just talk about this earlier this week, last week I believe it was. But there's a Senate bill. They're trying to roll back the estate taxes. Remember the estate tax that took it up from 20% to 35%?
Yeah.
Which people at the time said, it's only going to affect rich people, and what do we care about rich people? And now Peterson himself is saying, like, well, we got to roll that back because that's very expensive, and it's going to cause a lot of people to leave. What's the difference? I honestly, explain that to me. I cannot understand the difference. An estate tax and a millionaire's tax, and they're saying that millionaires who are affected by the estate tax, because it's over a certain amount, that's very high. It's like over $3 million before the real stuff kicks in.
Only pay it once, right?
Well, unless you can figure out a way to die multiple times,
exactly.
which Washington State might figure out a way to do.
This you got to go every year.
This you would do every single year.
Every single year.
So why wouldn't these same people figure out a way to be mobile, just as we know that pro athletes will figure out, and not pay the estate tax, or I'm sorry, not pay the millionaire's tax? Why is the estate tax bad, but the millionaire's tax is good? That to me doesn't make any sense. But here is Rob McKenna, former Washington State Attorney General. This is a long clip, so we're not going to play the whole thing. But he explains why, in kind of legalese, and he's a smart guy. He explains why the income tax in Washington State is, as they're proposing it right here, a bad sale.
The idea that we don't have property rights and our income is ludicrous. I mean, you can pledge your income stream to take out a loan. That's what we all do when we get a mortgage, or when we take out a revolving credit loan, or what have you, an auto loan. We're essentially pledging an income stream. We're saying we can contractually obligate some part of our income, and if you don't pay it, let's say you don't pay a legal obligation, you can have your income garnished, right? It's your property. No, so legislators today think, oh yeah, we can have a progressive income tax outside the bounds of the property tax rules, have to pretend income is not property. And that just doesn't pass the laugh test. Voters will think that's crazy. And over the decades, legislatures have understood that, and they've said, okay, well, if we want to exclude income from the definition of property, we need to get the Constitution amended. And that's what legislatures in other states have done as well. Other states that have very broad definition of property like ours, that have income taxes, have achieved them by amending their constitution to carve out income from the definition of property, to expressly allow a progressive income tax. Keeping in mind that under our constitution, income is property, we tax property, we can have a tax on income. It just has to follow the rules for property taxes. It has to be uniform, and it's capped at 1%. We have a tax system that has attracted job creators and entrepreneurs, and it's kept our homegrown businesses here, as opposed to leaving. And they're going to screw that up. And I think they're panicking a little bit, and that's why they're changing the other taxes, because they realize they're having all these effects. Maybe they think it'll help reduce opposition to the income tax. I doubt it, because voters aren't going to be fooled by the gimmick of calling it a millionaire's tax.
I think he's a legal, he obviously.
I love Rob McKenna.
He makes a lot of sense to me.
He does. I always voted for him for governor.
Did you really?
2012. Yes, I did.
Yeah, I think he would have been a good choice.
I do too.
And I think he's making a lot of sense. It also speaks to what will eventually happen. Like, let's say this thing is passed. Mm-hmm. It's going to be challenged legally.
Oh, yeah.
And
they'll probably have a recall election. I mean, they'll try everything.
I hope it doesn't get to that point. I hope it doesn't get to the point where they have to do that, because I hope it doesn't pass in the first place. I would rather they just stop spending so recklessly. I think that would be just the far superior option, would just be to live within your means, which is what any normal person who pays taxes in our state has to do every single time that we go to the bank and we have to make payments. If you can't afford Netflix anymore, you don't get Netflix. You don't take money from your neighbor, or you figure out how to make more money and go out and make more money. But taking more money doesn't seem like the right thing.
Did you read the Seattle Times editorial board?
Who's not in favor of this?
No, they're not. And
tell me about this.
Well, I've heard various people say, when Fox News criticizes President Trump for various actions or policies, when he's lost Fox News, sure, it's the same can be said when the Democratic Party
when
you've lost the Seattle Times, you have lost.
Yeah.
The headline says, on income tax, legislative Democratic leaders failed to meet the moment. And there's one sentence in here that really just sums it all up. I apologize. Passing a foundation-quaking tax policy that doesn't tether it to a robust tax relief is an abject failure to meet this moment. And they're right. They're talking about, there's a regressive tax policy, blah, blah, blah. We got to do all these things because taxes is unfair in the state.
Mm-hmm.
Adding this 9.9% to income over $1 million does not address the inequality of this at all, any way, shape, or form.
Gives you cheaper deodorant.
Right. They just... And
you're still going to be poor. You just might smell better.
No guarantee that the floor is $1 million, right? No public vote option. There's so many holes in this boat.
It sounds to me like you're not for it anymore.
Oh, I'm all for it, but not.
Are you still for it?
I'm not for it in
not
this
for
capacity.
this version.
In this capacity, I really think this state needs tax reform.
Wouldn't it be better if they let the people vote on it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Yeah, you and me agree
Absolutely.
on that. Even we may disagree on what should be taxed and how it's taxed and what form we do.
We played a couple earlier very well-to-do Washingtonians.
Hans and Job.
Right. A Microsoft, one of the founders of Microsoft who's worth billions.
Yeah.
A leading, I think it's Chelan, business owner.
Leavenworth.
Yeah. And they make, look, we could pay more. We should pay more. There are people who make excessive amounts of money who feel that their tax burden could be increased for the benefit of the society. There's points of view that feel that way, and I get that.
Yeah,
but
totally
in this iteration, to jam it through without the safeguards that this city, or this state,
100%
deserve, it's just I can't get behind this iteration.
I love to hear that, Spike. Yeah. That's wonderful.
I appreciate you got me on this one.
I hope that people out there who are lawmakers are hearing that. I mean, you and I, we come at things often from a very different point of view, but I think it sounds like we both agree, taking it out of the people's hands and especially when they have voted this same thing down 10 times in the past or 11, whatever it was, taking it out of the people's hands is wrong. It feels wrong because it is for a reason, and they're doing something that people don't want. You have in front of you right now, I saw that you pulled up the Governor Ferguson posted
his
clip
my North Star.
Can you read this? What does he mean by this?
Sure. Governor Ferguson says, my North Star for millionaires tax is affordability. The biggest small business tax cut in state history, making the working family's tax credit live up to its name, and sales tax holidays, no sales tax on baby products. That is
which they turned down.
His millionaire's
Democrats
tax must be guided by affordability. This is posted from today. It's already got baby products aren't tax free anymore.
No, he said that he doesn't support the current version because it didn't address what he wanted it to. And when Democrats were introduced a version that said, why don't you have no sales tax on diapers and for babies and old people, they said, no, we're not going to add that. So it's just clearly they're all over the map on this thing.
They really are.
They also seem to hate babies or old people. I can't tell.
Both.
One of the two.
Both. They hate both.
Coming and going. They can't stand them.
They've got 2 weeks basically to try to fix this.
Oh man, I've never wanted something to fail more. I just hope all of them. I already don't think they do a good job, but I really hope they fail at their jobs now. I hope they don't. I hope they don't get together and figure out how to ram this thing through, because I think that would be such a mistake.
Did you hear the story about the? You had figures earlier in the week about 93% of those people responding to online comments were against this.
Yeah, it was like, I think the original number was, I saw it when it was at 100,000, but it's over that now. I don't know what it's at now, but it was, like 92%.
Did you see the story that there's quite a few names they feel?
Seattle Times did a deep investigation.
They said up to maybe 37,000 names can't be verified.
You know what I recommend they do? They should require an ID to voice your opinion on this.
Yeah.
And they should require that people can verify who they are. I'm totally fine with that.
Sure, yeah.
Doesn't that make sense?
There was a
we want to make sure
I
that
think
if people
one of
are
the state Democrats who actually
voting for things, they have
sponsored
IDs.
the bill saw her name listed as online commentary that was opposed to this bill.
I wonder how she feels about voting with IDs. She probably doesn't support it, but I
Probably does.
I would support voting with IDs on the.
I'm with you. Yeah,
that'd be good. Let me play you this clip. We don't have time. Jeez Louise, we're out of time.
What are we going to talk about?
This is CNN's Fareed Zakaria. He had this great
this is about
piece.
what makes cities unaffordable.
What makes cities unaffordable? I thought it was so great. Maybe we'll come back to it really fast, and then we can get on to some cool stuff about hockey, because that's what people really care about. All right, we got all that and much more coming up next. Stick around. We're going to be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Davis Law Group. KIRO Newsradio, the first place you turn for the news you trust.
Seattle's new mayor is laying out a big vision.
She offered few specifics.
Engaging conversation.
Has anybody noticed their electric bill? It's diabolical, Ursula.
And your Super Bowl champion Seahawks.
They are bringing the Lombardi back to the Northwest.
Streaming everywhere on the KIRO Newsradio app. Always here, always with you. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com.
Sometimes we hang on to our old attorneys and coaches too long. They've been around, they've done good work. But when the legal game changes, you need a team that is hungry to win now. At Bible Law Group, we're that faster, hard-hitting legal team, ready to fight for every inch in the courtroom. With over 40 million closed for our clients, we know how to win, and we're ready to take on the biggest legal case of your career with you. Don't stick with a playbook that's gone stale. Switch to the legal team that's ready to win now. Let Bible Law Group be your linebacker in the courtroom. Find us online at BibleLawGroup.com.
The stock market was on fire in 2025 due to AI and tech stocks. Now is the time to set a strategy for 2026. It's a good opportunity to lock in those gains and invest into a stable platform. With $8 trillion in cash sitting on the sidelines, investors are either scared or unsure where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares the profits with our investors. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital. Invest into our Northwest Fund, which is currently delivering 9% on a fixed rate term. It's our flagship fund for 19 years with zero investor losses. And yes, we do accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
What a good move I made. Let me tell you a quick story. I've done a whole bunch of races and a bunch of other stuff like that, and my left hip started bothering me about 5 years ago. And I go to the doctor, and he's like, you need a hip replacement. I was like, I'm 60. Yeah, we're going to ask you to wait a little while because we don't want you to wear the hip out. We want you and the hip to go into the grave at the same time. I said, what do you do about all this pain? Well, you could, aspirin, and you could continue to do this and that and, sleep with a pillow between your legs. I was like, no, I don't want to do this. Then then I was talking to Bob Stelton over there at the sports department. So he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, and I think he had his hip done as well. So I go in there. I say to Dr. Wagner, can you fix my hip? Takes a look at the MRI. Yes. So I got the stem cell procedure. I'm telling you something. This is the best. If you've been thinking about, surgery for your knee, your wrist, your shoulder, or hip. No. Check out Dr. Mark Wagner and go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
High five! Up top! Dave's company just got the 5-year price lock guarantee from Comcast Business. Yeah! It's 5 years of gig speed internet, advanced security, and a great rate that won't change. All from the company with 99.9% network reliability. Heck yeah! He hasn't given this many high fives since Deborah brought in her famous banana bread. Yes! The Comcast Business 5-year price lock guarantee. Powering 5 years of savings, powering possibilities.
And it's hurting, but I am not stopping.
Woo! For a limited time, now through March 29th, switch to Comcast Business to lock in your rate for 5 years and get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig bundle. Or ask how to get started with 150 megabit internet and Security Edge for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Don't wait. Call today. Restrictions apply. New customers only. 1-year contract required for guaranteed rate. Paperless billing and automatic payments with bank account required. 5-year pricing applies to monthly service charge excluding taxes and fees.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Aaron Granillo. We have new information in the fatal stabbings of 4 people and an officer-involved shooting in the town of Purdy. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch is there.
We now know the 3 people who died in the home on 87th Avenue Court Northwest in Purdy and a 4th that died at the hospital were all adults, although we don't know their genders. Police were called here for the suspect violating a protection order. Then came a call for someone being stabbed. Pierce County deputies arrived and, in a confrontation, shot and killed the suspect. Tacoma Police spokesman Shelby Boyd.
PC Fit will go through and they'll do their full investigation. Obviously Pierce County has their own internal process.
PC Fit is the independent force investigation team that investigates officer-involved shootings. In Purdy, James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Tonight, President Trump delivers his State of the Union address. CBS's Robert Costa has a preview.
President Trump's real battle, in my view, as a reporter, is against himself. Can he reclaim his momentum from his 2024 victory on economic issues and make the case that, yes, tariffs might have a bit of a jolt right now with the Supreme Court, but overall his trade policy is working, his economic policy is working to try to lower prices.
President's address is set for 6 tonight. We will carry it live here on KIRO News Radio. Did thousands of bots sign in to publicly oppose the proposed millionaire's tax? Democratic leaders in the state legislature say they're looking into those claims made by the progressive group Invest in Washington Now.
We're not talking about criminal activity here. It's people trying to give their opinion, and apparently bots are giving their opinions right now. So we'll take it with a grain of salt.
That is Democratic Senator Manka Dhingra. Opponents of the income tax have pointed to a record number of people opposing the bill online as proof that it is highly unpopular. Seattle police are investigating a 6-figure home burglary in Queen Anne.
Last Thursday, police were called out to a home near 9th and West McGraw. The homeowner found her door had been forced open. Her house was ransacked. Investigators say about $130,000 worth of purses, jewelry, and other items were stolen. They're trying to figure out if that home was targeted. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
6:232. We have Nate Connors now with the real-time traffic desk.
Thanks, Aaron. Seattle Sports has our update. Here in Seattle, North 5, we're now bumper to bumper from the West Seattle Bridge up to Yesler, just volume here. And right about there is where a lot of these drivers are peeling off into the express lanes. So you'll clear out for a minute, and then another thick backup now from Mercer to the Ship Canal Bridge. Plan on 25 minutes to clear our downtown backups. South 5 continues to look good into Seattle. We do have a little crowding developing from Mercer to I-90. South 405 is packed through Factoria. Southbound on the Valley Freeway, got a brief backup there in Kent approaching South let's see, James Street, that is. We may have a new collision there. And then south of 18, we're starting to fill in between Algona and Pacific. All added up, it's about 35 minutes from Renton to Puyallup on the Valley Freeway. And out toward Purdy, if you're traveling on State Route 302 this afternoon, just up the hill from the Purdy Spit, expect delays near Goldman Drive. That is near the scene of our active investigation. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. KIRO News Radio, real-time traffic. I'm Nate Connors.
Mix of clouds and sunshine today, depending on where you're at in the Puget Sound region, but mainly dry with some light snow over the mountains right now. Right now, 46 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Aaron Granillo, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, a lot of stuff to get to. I told you I was going to play this clip real fast before we get into hockey stuff, which is what people really want to talk about. But I saw this clip, and I was interested in your take on this, Spike, because I think he kind of hits it on the head. This is CNN's Fareed Zakaria, who does these, he'll do like a 5-6 minute video and kind of give his take on things. I actually find them to be very good.
Yeah, he's a smart guy.
He's super thoughtful. He's, you know, he's as moderate as you're going to find probably on, you know, on a fair amount of things. I don't follow him for everything, but on this, he feels like he's making a lot of common sense to me. And he's talking specifically in this piece, which is 6 minutes, so we did not pull the whole thing. But he's talking about, he uses New York and Chicago and Los Angeles as examples of cities who are growing at far, far, far past the rate of inflation where the rest of society grows. And he's saying these places grow way faster than everybody else in their expenditures.
Okay.
And at what point do you stop and ask yourself, well, why are you doing that? We were just talking about this earlier on the show. And I was watching this earlier thinking to myself, like, oh, this really applies a lot to what we're seeing in Washington and really applies to the millionaire's tax that everybody's talking about right now. So I'm going to play you this little clip and tell me what you think about it. This is Fareed Zakaria, CNN.
New York is really a prime example of a problem Democrats seem unwilling to confront. Blue cities are out of control, promising more, spending more, delivering less, and pushing off the fiscal problems to some future day. What is the theory of good government here? If the answer is keep adding programs, the city will keep producing unaffordability, because unaffordability is what happens when government becomes a machine that grows faster than the society it governs.
Which I did think was kind of applicable to our state in many ways.
Okay.
And, you know, we'll find out what their appetite for taking more people's money is if the millionaire tax passes, if Governor Ferguson signs that. Does it get more unaffordable or does it get less affordable? And does it get more unaffordable or does it get less expensive? That's what I meant to say. Time will tell.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to be kind of what he's suggesting here is it kind of turns into a vicious cycle.
I haven't seen this piece. I'll look for it. Does he offer solutions to the Democrat or ideas?
Yeah, the idea is
parties?
you can't grow faster than the rest of society. He specifically talks about inflation. You can't grow faster than that. And like New York, for instance.
No, I get it. I mean, you're just adding service after service, but why are you adding these services? It's not to attract people who want, services. I think it's in response to a population that can't afford to live and work in their city. I may be wrong, but it seems to be a contributing factor. If you have talking about meal assistance programs for kids in schools, or you're talking about child care assistance programs for families who work. These are affordability factors, and if you want a working population in your city, you have to provide some type of services. Otherwise, the whole system will collapse. We've seen
though in Washington State that they've far outgrown in pace than the state has in population.
Yeah, I would agree, and the fact that we're earning more than we ever have.
In 2000,
we're raising more than we ever have.
10 years ago, the budget was almost half of what it is now, and population was 7,300,000 people.
Yeah, we're not
today
growing.
Is 8 million, so it's not. It can't be population based.
But all these different factors come into play: population growth, housing costs, utility costs.
Yeah, but why is housing so expensive?
Why is housing so expensive in this town?
Yeah,
it's a market-based problem because you brought in these high-paying jobs.
It's also very expensive to build houses.
Oh yeah,
Washington.
And a factor of that is the regulation put upon.
Regulation.
The time constraints put upon by regulation, the cost put upon by regulations. I'm with you there, yeah.
I was looking at putting a deck on my house, and I called the guy who does decks. And
You're going to rent it out when you put it on?
What's that?
You're going to rent it out, little side income?
Rent out the deck?
Accessory dwelling, yeah.
No.
Yeah, accessory decking.
People are
unit.
going to come pay to hang out on my deck?
That's an extra $9,000 a month.
He told me he won't even do business in Seattle.
No
Because
kidding.
he said the regulations in
Not worth his
Seattle.
time and money.
He goes, I will wait. I will put in a whatever it is, an application with the city for a permit to build. And he goes, we will wait sometimes 16, 18, 24 months for them to approve the thing.
And I understand the necessity of regulations. Yeah.
I understand regulation.
Yeah, of course.
But excessive regulation.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm with you.
Kills it.
Common sense.
So if
Let's
you're not adding
common sense
more
rule of the day.
housing, and you're not letting people build, then it's going to keep getting expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway, I thought he was making a lot of sense.
He's a smart, savvy guy. He's bounced around to a lot of different networks.
He's savvy. All right, let's move on to hockey here real fast. We have some good audio here.
Speaking of smart and savvy.
Speaking of smart.
Yeah.
This is Jack Hughes. This is Jack and Quinn, and Luke is the other brother,
Luke's
I
the
think.
other brother. 3 brothers. Yeah.
3 brothers.
2 are on the hockey team.
Two are on the hockey
2 on
team.
the Olympic team, I should say.
I believe all 3 play for...
All 3 were drafted.
Played for the NHL or did play for the NHL?
2 were drafted by the Devils. I believe the other one was, I apologize.
Like a Canuck, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, Vancouver Canuck. Well
There you
done.
go.
Yes,
All right.
well done.
Their mom is Ellen Weinberg, and in 1981, she made the news as the only girl on an all-boys hockey team. So they come from good stock. I believe she's 11 when this interview takes place. Listen to this. It's adorable.
Go get him, guys. Let's go, Dallas. Go get him.
But not all the players are guys. Number 22 on the Dallas Pee Wee team is Ellen Weinberg. Ellen is 12 years old and has been playing hockey for over 5 years. Ellen's primary concern is on defense, and she plays it just like the guys.
Whenever they have the puck, I check them so they don't score. Because I'm as physical, I think.
Do they ever get upset when you hit them too hard?
Yeah.
What do they say then?
Sometimes I cuss and stuff like that.
Opposing players may cuss, but Ellen's teammates have only kind things to say. Is she a pretty good player?
Yeah, she's real good. I don't really care if we got enough players on the team. I just don't really care. She's good. You know.
Come on, Scotty! Go, Scotty, skate it! Moving, not moving!
Ellen's father, Dr. Warren Weinberg, is one of the coaches of the team. Because of protective equipment, he isn't afraid of his daughter getting hurt. But he won't be feeling that way much longer.
As they grow older, 13, 14, 16, 17 years of age, it's going to get much tougher for her to keep up with the muscular strength of the boys. But she likes it, so we let her play.
And Ellen wants to continue to play, and someday she would like to play professional hockey.
It's just a goal I want to reach. Because I don't know, something that I've wanted done.
Think you're going to make it?
Yeah.
So look out, National Hockey League. Ellen Weinberg is on her way. Stan Radford, Channel 5 Action Sports, Fort Worth.
What year was this? What year was
This is 1981.
That's beautiful.
She did end up playing for the U.S. women's national team. This is before they had a...
They weren't Olympics. They weren't Olympic sport yet. That's
Not
right.
until 98.
Yeah. And she tore her knee up the first year that they had Olympic women's hockey and could not play.
Yeah.
I mean, destroyed her knee. ACL, MCL, everything.
But
gone.
she is an advisor to the team. She's like a
director.
consultant
She's
or something.
No, she's a director of player development.
Well, there you go.
She spots the talent that's going to become U.S. Olympic women's hockey players, make sure that they get the training.
She knows.
She's got an eye, man. Look, she raised 3 NHL first-round draft picks.
And she herself was a
She won
very
a gold.
talented
Yeah,
youngster.
She's a generational athlete and a visionary. And we talked about it yesterday in the wake of the America basking in the Olympic hangover, the glory of Olympic hangover, that this woman, this athlete, and how important families are to our Olympians.
Yeah, so
we talked about Alyssa Liu. And her dad, who was a refugee from China.
Yeah, Tiananmen Square.
Who made himself, became a lawyer, started his own law firm, has 5 children through surrogacy, and
Isn't that a different kind of story?
that's a different kind of story. And he spent estimated between $500,000 and $1 million in her training.
Good golly!
I mean, it's about the families involved
Paid
in
off.
these skiers. Absolutely,
paid off.
It takes a village, man, and what a family, the Hughes family.
Amazing family. Speaking of amazing, also we have audio. We got to play this audio real fast. Connor Hellebuck. He's the
goalie.
Am I pronouncing that last name right? Hellebuck.
Hellebuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The goalie who did fantastic.
Who should be bronzed and should have been the MVP of the tournament, but that's another.
He was not like a highly sought after guy.
No.
I mean, he played in college, but then he ended up playing for like a junior hockey team, a tier 2 junior hockey team in Odessa, Texas.
Yeah.
And
never played in the upper junior leagues, never got drafted in the upper leagues of junior hockey anywhere. When it was time for him to be drafted in the pros, he was rated as the 35th goalie in the NHL draft.
Goalie,
Not just the 35th player, the 35th goalie.
It's crazy. 130th pick overall.
Yeah.
2012, yeah. And now he's playing for the Winnipeg Jets.
Yep.
He's making millions of dollars. Obviously, people think he's a star. And here's just a little bit of his background.
It's football country. There'll be 15,000 people at a high school football game. It's all about football.
Go, Jets, go!
Ice hockey, when it was introduced, was real exciting to our community. Football and hockey have a lot of similarities. Must
be nice just to cool down in Odessa, Texas. Going to an ice rink. That sounds good.
Football fans really enjoy hockey too.
Coming out of Walled Lake Northern High School in Michigan, Connor Hellebuck's hockey path was as clear as Texas crude. Undrafted in every junior league and not a single call from any NCAA school, his only option was an invite to camp from the North American Hockey League expansion, Odessa Jackalopes.
Craig Sarner, who was a scout, calls me and he says, "Okay, I found you a goalie." I said, "Who is it?" He said, "Connor Hellebuck." So we go to the computer and type his name in the computer, and he's not on there. I mean, he's not on the top 500. We don't even have to draft this kid. No one even knows he's alive.
Isn't that insane? I mean, that's a long way from Odessa, Texas, which from every football movie I've ever seen in Odessa, Texas, he's pretty much in the middle of nowhere, to then being on top of the world. He's at the White House today. He's going to the State of the Union tonight. He's got a gold medal around his neck because he kept working hard.
He's won the trophy as the best goalie in the NHL twice.
Amazing. Yeah, amazing. It's like a Tom Brady story where you see that he's like not a hugely recruited guy.
Exactly.
And obviously he's no great expectations coming into the NFL.
And now they're calling him a GOAT.
Unbelievable.
And the saves he made in that Olympic gold medal game.
GOAT.
Legend. Stuff of legend.
Yeah.
Good luck finding his jersey, by the way. Did you see what Nike didn't, or was it Nike?
Yeah.
Didn't make enough jersey. Didn't think this team was going to be as iconic as they have become.
Crazy.
You can bet your bottom dollar they're selling overtime.
So they don't have enough jerseys right now?
Jerseys. You can't find a Hughes jersey, a Hellebuck jersey. Good luck.
Good luck.
Canadian jerseys are marked down.
Good, yeah.
Half price, if that.
It's a good deal.
Great fire starters, too.
We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
KIRO News Radio is right there with you.
Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
On your smart speaker before you head out the door.
We continue to be in recovery mode on northbound I-5.
Watch live on YouTube or the KIRO News Radio app.
Newfangled idea of having to see the people while they're talking.
The office, the gym, wherever you are.
Get on the YouTube channel. The whole gang's there.
KIRO News Radio. 97.3 FM. Powered by MyNorthwest.com.
Well, don't let the dry sky fool you, folks. It's a rainy season here in the Great Northwest. It's a great time to call Integrity Roofing and Construction. 206-202-ROOF is the phone number. They are your trusted local roofing team. They offer free estimates, and the customer satisfaction just speaks for itself. They'll keep your home leak-free and protected from the Northwest weather. Visit integrityrc.com to schedule a free roof assessment or a video inspection today. They've got years of experience in roofing and full restorations. Skilled teams doing exceptional work. Try them out today. Take a look at their website. Look at the reviews, integrityrc.com. That's integrityrc.com.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. Drivers who switch their home and auto with Progressive could save money and time. Other things try to do this, but they really don't. Like the touchscreen at fast food places. It's not like you save time because it takes you longer to use a touchscreen than, I don't know, someone who works there. And another thing, you'd think it would save money because they're not paying a cashier, right? But no, same price. Also, why is there an option to tip? Who am I tipping? Exactly. Anyway, even if you can't save money and time with some things, you could with a Progressive Home and Auto Bundle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states or situations.
You know, it's frustrating. You work your tail off for 40 plus years. The government takes 30 or 40% in taxes. Then they turn right around and waste it. Americans are getting fed up, and that's why they're taking advantage of tax planning. Charlie Harger here. Tax planning could significantly reduce your taxes, not just for 1 year, but for the rest of your life. Learn how much you could save in taxes when you retire with free retirement tax savings analysis from Boss Retirement Solutions. If you've saved more than $300,000, schedule your free analysis now by calling 206-210-1350. Don't pay the government one more dime than you need to. You need to call the team at Boss Retirement Solutions. Call 206-210-1350. 206-210-1350.
For informational purposes only, actual results may vary. No statement contained herein shall constitute tax, legal, or investment advice.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Active Liver from New Nordic protects your liver so you can enjoy life to the fullest. Online at Amazon or in stores at CVS, Wegmans, and now GNC.
Your new home is ready now. D.R. Horton, America's builder, has new construction communities across Puget Sound and Central Washington, with more coming. Find your new home at drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder.
All right, welcome back to the show. We got a ton of text messages today. We will get to as many as we can. Laura, you want to start off?
Yeah, can I start with this one about your guys' Holiday Magic Kirograms?
Oh, yeah, that was fun.
It was a new thing we tried this year that you could, I think it was, $150 donation to Treehouse would get you kind of a cameo-style video from the two of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Personal message type of a deal.
Yeah. Read him a bedtime story. Sing a song.
Write a jingle. Amber and Kitsap said, "Hi, Jake, Spike, and team. My husband David received his KIRO Holiday Magic videogram for his birthday yesterday, and it was wonderful. I can't thank you both and KIRO enough for doing such a wonderful job and in a way that helped children via Treehouse. Double win. It was better than I expected, and I expected a lot. I encourage everyone to participate in Holiday Magic this year. It was so good, I'm sending Treehouse more money."
Boy, that's nice.
Wow.
It's really nice.
Isn't that lovely?
That is lovely, and we're happy to do it.
It's weird, though, that they wanted to see pictures of our feet.
Well, whatever it took.
People
it's
are
for the
weird
kids.
these days.
What I tell you?
They didn't. We're
for the
kidding.
kids.
For the kids.
We didn't take our shoes off.
On expensive deodorant, Julie B says, "I needed deodorant last week, and I didn't have a lot of money. I couldn't believe the one that I usually buy was up to $11.
It's a whole racket. I didn't know deodorant was so expensive. All my life, I bought like the cheapest deodorant you could find, as long as it covered sweat and smell.
Yeah.
And now you can't get it for less than a baker's dozen or whatever.
My wife handles all that at the house. She's in.
You'd be shocked
supply.
at how much she's paying for
I
your
don't even
deodorant.
want to know.
You should ask her.
Well, she gets like the multi-packs.
Sure.
They bring it by in an armored car.
What are you using? You using like
Old Spice Swagger.
Old Spice. Okay.
Old Spice Swagger.
Yeah.
I just hugged G once. G Scott. I'm like, what is that? He told me, and I've been a fan ever since.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
G's got to really keep up with Ursula's in the.
Ursula smells very good.
In the cologne department.
Right?
Yeah, she knows what she's doing.
Janet,
go ahead. Sorry,
Janet
go
in
ahead.
the 425 says, "You want to hear the real deodorant ripoff? Check out how many ounces it is. They are now putting less than 3 ounces in every deodorant so that it will pass TSA. So you're getting a smaller size in the same package. Talk about shrinkflation."
That's insane. Ugh. It's enough to
realize.
make you want to just be smelly and sweaty all the time.
In rebellion.
Yeah. It's only going to hurt yourself, though.
It's a peaceful protest.
On people trying to sell us on the Millionaire's Tax, Kevin says they're not selling anything. We don't get to vote on this. Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. You're 100% right.
Jesus says your money, less than 8% of Washingtonians are millionaires, and 0.5% of Washingtonians make $1 million or more a year. So, quote, your money isn't the money of a vast majority of Washingtonians.
Mike in Edmond says, here's a question for Jake. If someone offered to give you a gift of $1 million, but it would have to be in support of the millionaire's tax, would you take the $1 million gift and support the tax? Or would he give up a $1 million gift to continue to hold on to his current stance?
So the premise of the question is,
we give you $1 million.
You give me a ton of free money.
Can we buy your support is the question. For $1 million.
I don't actually really support the premise of the question, so it's tough for me to answer that seriously. So I will give you a fake answer, which is that of course I wouldn't take the money. You cannot buy my principles. Mike from Edmonds. Here's what you can do though. And you also can't vote on this, Mike. Actually, now I think about it. So it's not up to you. It's not up to me. They're just telling us what they're going to do. They're not giving you a choice. They're just going to take people's money. So no, I would not. You could not buy it for $1 million. It would cost a lot more than that.
And $1.5 million. And
I still.
What's the famous quote from? We know what kind of lady you are. It's Churchill. We know what kind of lady you are, man. We're just negotiating the price. I swear to God, it's the Churchill.
I wouldn't do it, Mike. No, honestly.
Is that really a Churchill?
It is
no way that's
look
a
it
Churchill
up.
quote.
It is.
I wouldn't do it, Mike. No, you can't buy me. I won't do it. Forget it.
On flights resuming to Puerto Vallarta, Bernie and Squim says, I'm house and pet sitting for a buddy who's on his way there right now.
On his way there?
Yeah.
Wow. Karen in the 425 says, the cartels will absolutely target tourists. You can hold a tourist hostage for a lot of money. You do not want to kill the tourist. You want to hold the tourist. That will put pressure on the Mexican government. Damn.
My aunt and uncle were in Mexico. This is years ago. And they were held by the local police who got them on like a minor infraction that may or not been made up.
Oh, okay.
Like a speeding ticket or something. And they said, well, we're going to have to hold you for the weekend. Or if you make a donation to the local yada yada, we'll let you out. So even the law enforcement down there is a little suspect. I mean, maybe things have changed in the last 20 years, but that was like kind of a family legend now. They're like, we just had to pay.
I've heard numerous stories.
I've heard
local
stuff
shakedowns.
Like that. Yeah.
Shade and shady. Yeah.
What else do we got here? Luke in Tacoma says Jake's missing out on Mexican vacations. Been there 6 times for family trips with no issues. If you price it out, all-inclusive resorts are best for the kids. I don't doubt that it's great.
The armed guards are included.
It does sound enticing.
The armed guards are included.
It's a good price. Yeah. If it's included, if it's all inclusive,
sure.
I mean, you can't beat it.
Can't beat it.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us today. John Curley's coming up next. We will be back here tomorrow, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.
The John Curley Show.
When people sit there and they see people with the American flag and they're utterly disgusted because they associate the flag and USA with Donald Trump, don't do that. You're doing yourself an amazing disservice.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
You could dislike Donald Trump, but you can still love America. It's like discounting Photograph from Nickelback, which is actually a pretty good song. Think of the fact that you love this country, and what you love about it is it's inclusive. Good. Include others.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube. Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax. They know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Your tax return is one of the most important financial documents you produce each year. Have you ever looked at it and wondered what else can you do to minimize your taxes? John Curley here to tell you about Madrona Financial's 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop, a hands-on tax planning workshop that helps you use your 1040 tax return to uncover tax reduction strategies, avoid future tax surprises, and plan ahead with confidence. The 1040 Treasure Hunt Workshop is at 6 p.m. on March 3rd at Madrona Financial's Kirkland office. This free hands-on event will expose ways to pay less in taxes and plan for the future. If you want fewer surprises and more control, this workshop is the place to start. Tuesday, March 3rd at 6 p.m. RSVP by calling 833-673-7373. That's 833-673-7373. Or visit madronafinancial.com/events to grab your seat today.
This is a paid advertisement. Investments involve risk. See full disclosures at madronafinancial.com.
I'm worried.
About what?
Water.
Oh?
Hot water, if you really want to know.
Water heater worries?
Worried it's wearing down.
Running out?
The hot doesn't last like it used to.
So you're...
worried.
I got a guaranteed fix.
Let me guess. A new water heater.
Right, but...
that's what worries me.
Well, worry no more.
Why?
What you need is an Apollo Plumbing water heater.
Because?
We include Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
Wrenchy's what?
Worry-free warranty.
Which means?
When it wears out, we replace it.
No extra charge.
As an A-List Club member, you're covered for life.
For life?
For as long as you're an A-List member. You get annual life-extending water heater flushes included.
So it lasts longer.
Right.
And when it needs replacement,
you're covered.
With no worries.
Because it's Wrenchy's
worry-free warranty.
What else would you expect from the Ready Right Now plumbers?
Apollo Plumbing.
Home of Wrenchy's worry-free warranty.
What about tankless ones?
Worry-free too.
Gotta love that Wrenchy.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
It's cold outside, and if you're noticing it's taking forever to heat your home, there are cold spots in certain rooms, your furnace turns off and on a lot, or it never stops, or maybe your energy bill is just way too high. These are all warning signs that your home needs a blanket. There may be something wrong with your insulation, which means not only are you uncomfortable in your own home, but you could be wasting hundreds or thousands of dollars a year in lost energy. Call Insulation Northwest today, and we'll send one of our professionals to give you a fast, free energy inspection to determine if there is a problem. And if there is a problem, we can fix it fast. Most jobs are completed in one day. You have nothing to lose. The inspection is free and only takes about an hour and could save you thousands. Keep the heat in, the cold out, and your energy bill low. Call Insulation Northwest today. Insulation Northwest, the real insulation company.
Please ask if you qualify for thousands of dollars of free rebates from your energy company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio.